What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 258. I am your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Brett Murdoch.
Aloha.
Carlos Romero.
Hello, people.
And Adam Vale.
Sucker Free Sunday, bitches.
Yeah. All right, man, a couple of things before we start here. We want to give a shout out to our friend Colby, who did the Extra Life stream over the weekend, and we hosted him, and they had a pretty decentish turnout, and we got him always we're gonna always auto host him. So if he ever streams, we got his back, and they made pretty good money for the charity that he was doing. So, good shout out to Colby, man, good stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and also just for our Latino listeners, man, rest in peace to Walter Mercado, man. My man passed away. I didn't realize he was 87. Shit.
I didn't know he was all that plastic surgery.
Yeah, exactly. All that plastic surgery he had.
Yeah, like I was telling my mom about it. He was like, how did he die? Like, he was young. I'm like, no, he wasn't. Like, he's like 15 years older than my mom. She's like, how? She thought he was younger,
Yeah, for people who didn't know him, he's a staple in like Hispanic households for like fucking decades.
Yeah, basically, when I was a kid, watched them. Then when I came over here, watched them. He was like an astrologist, and he was like basically the Hispanics version of RuPaul, dressed like a woman and shit.
He wore like a cape shit thing, and he had long nails and talked crazy.
No, RuPaul was like, go ahead, man.
No, it's more like Liberace.
Liberace,
yeah,
because Liberace, like RuPaul tried to look like a woman, like you could still tell this was a dude,
No, he was real flamboyant, very metro,
very flamboyant,
very metrosexual.
Metrosexual before metrosexual was a big
exactly. What was he doing all these years though?
He wasn't still making appearances.
It was looking at the formation of the stars.
Yeah, that's right.
So what was happening with our lives?
He had an appearance in Miami a couple months ago. According to our friend Danny Pena, he was like, "Oh shit, yeah, he was down there." But yeah, staple in the Latin community. So shout out to him.
Shit, man, he looked old in the '80s. I couldn't believe what he looked like now.
By the way, since we're doing a little tangents here, real quick, something like just surprised me right now that I heard from a certain Adam Vale.
Uh-oh.
What?
What's exactly a Day of the Dead celebration in where you're at? How does that work?
It was a cultural event that they had. It was a cultural center. They had mariachi bands. They had they were making they had this, like, you could make flowers and you could do Day of the Dead faces and stuff like that and put them on your kids, and they had food, cultural food, and all those type of things going on.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, because Adam told me, he's like, yeah, I went to the Day of the Dead celebration. What, in Kansas or Wyoming? I don't know where the hell Adam's from. One of those places. I'm like, that just seems random as hell, but
it was packed. They said it. I mean, it was one of the coordinators there said they had like 3,000 people show up to this.
That's crazy, man.
Even the news media weren't even sure about it, and they showed up. So I don't think this happens every year. This could have been the first, but it was really cool. It was really cool. They had a little memorial wall where you could write a little message to your loved one that passed away and put it up on the wall. And we did one for my father-in-law. It was really nice.
That's cool.
All right, man. Let's get into it. I'm officially calling this. Yeah, I'm calling this the official Death Stranding Throw Down Your Questions episode because we have so many questions about this game. I think just to be accurate, it's about half of our questions tonight are about Death Stranding. You guys went in. You're very active in the chat. In the lounge, man. Yo, dudes are going in, man. So let's get into it, man. First up, this is a double one. Damien and Big Mike asked us the same question, basically. Damien goes, after the mixed review scores for Death Stranding, do you think it should be a contender for Game of the Year? And Big Mike asked, do you think Death Stranding will be Game of the Year with the reviews they got?
Fucking kidding me? They smoking crack rocks? What the fuck is this?
Dude, some motherfucker's gonna put it up there as their Game of the Year just because they're pretentious douchebag.
That's they're trolling us. That's a troll question, right? They know that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no,
they know it's not gonna happen.
Here's the thing. Let's establish what Game of the Year means, right? I know that sounds kind of crazy. Like, Who is the authority here? Are we going by what the Jeff Keighley show says?
Hell no.
Because to me, I'm like, game of the year is a personal thing. You know, I'm like, what's your game of the year? What's my game of the year? Here's the gamers have this idea that there's a universal game of the year. They said it too, like Spider-Man, God of War, Witcher. Those are the games they say those are games of the year, right? But there is no real, even though there is an official game awards, they're not the authority on this shit. You know?
Authority.
Well, there's kind of the unofficial one that Twitter agrees on, and there's.
All right, here's what I. Oh, here you are.
Yeah, but Brett, you know what I'm saying? Like the IGN's gonna have theirs, GameSpot's
gonna have theirs. Everybody will have theirs, but there will be one that the internet kind of comes to as an unofficial consensus. This is not going to be that.
Hell no.
The one that
reviews, no way. You know.
But the one that people usually go based off of, and we definitely do this for consoles, is just console sales of units. So if you want to go with game of the year, then just go with the one that everybody bought. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's good.
So for the 20th year in a row, Call of Duty gets game of the year.
There you go. It is a butter game. No, it wasn't. The last one sucked. This one is great, but the last one sucked.
Call of Duty's going to win by automatically then.
But even then, I don't even think Call of Duty was, for last year, the top selling. It definitely wasn't. Not with the Black Ops. I think it was...
Call of Duty never gets a game of the year.
No, it never does.
No, maybe Modern Warfare did, but...
Yeah, Modern Warfare probably did, but after that,
Yeah, when they start doing something different, that's like seriously different. And it's not a sequel.
And the funny thing is, Manny, Call of Duty games always get really high scores, but they never even get nominated for Game of the Year.
So it's obvious that Game of the Year is usually a lot of factors and not just the
yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then FIFA will win every year because FIFA makes buco bucks and it's always on the top and everyone's playing it and it always gets great reviews, but yet they don't even get considered. And it's like, why? Well, it's a fucking sport game. Oh, really? So then there's certain rules.
But go ahead.
The most they're going to do is probably sport game of the year, but not the game of the year.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the placebo. The effect that having the animation, the best animated animated thing category in the Academy Awards. Now an animated movie can never win the best picture because they already have a category.
They have their own category. So even for Best Picture of the Year, what the group that does that? What is it? Is that like the studio heads all get together? Who decides? Because there has to be
an academy.
That'd be the Oscars.
Well, the Oscars.
We don't have that kind of thing in games that we like. We don't have a central authority, but we do have a lot of people who will make.
The way the Oscars work is it has at least a representative from all the different studios, actors, and stuff.
That's how the Game Awards works too.
They're all supposedly people that work within the industry, but the biggest issue that they've always had is that not every single person in the Academy who's part of the voting process has watched every single movie nominated.
Yeah.
So here's my concern though. When you talk about Game of the Year in terms of will sites or editors of sites especially put this forward as their Game of the Year and give it a spotlight, 100% yes. And to prove my point, I'm going to bring up Gone Home.
Oh.
An indie game that was super niche and super fucking boring, but everybody tipped all over themselves to talk about what a deep and innovative experience it was, so that they could seem like they were more high-minded than the people in the rest of the.
Well, Brett,
they woke.
Brett, let's do a more digestible version of that. Journey was quote unquote the consensus game of the year for the year that came out.
Was it?
Yeah, a lot of people said that was game of the year.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, but that wasn't a consensus, though, was it?
Well, I mean, it's
as close to a consensus as you're gonna get.
Yeah, because I don't think there's ever been is there what last year? What was the game of the year? Was it a consensus?
Again, I'm just saying this off of what I saw on Twitter. It's a toss up between God of War and Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah. It's what Twitter says. Exactly. Okay. You just proved my point. It's what most people are saying on Twitter.
Okay, that's fair. Twitter's not going to agree on this game. I guarantee you that right now.
No,
I guarantee you that right now.
And here's another thing about
the fucking reviewers are sniping each other over this game.
Yeah, because it's too lopsided. There's no fucking middle ground. Either people love this shit or they fucking hate it.
Well, that's exactly what I sort of expected from this game.
That's a
false,
but then
that's
why?
That's a false narrative.
Like the game hasn't even come out yet, and all the reviews that I've seen so far are not negative. Like I haven't seen a negative review on it. Like I've seen
half of the reviews are negative. What are you talking about?
I'm looking. You actually read the review, and they talk about how it's a boring, trudging. Yeah. Like they're talking about like this game is boring, and there's not a lot to it. And I was pretty pissed off to like halfway through. But it's a great game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
Super artsy. They even said that it's artsy, and for that it gets commended. Get to 10. Are you fucking?
I told you, people.
The game in the word is supposed to be a fun. It's a fucking game. And what was one review? I said even gave it a 10, but said, yeah, this should have been a movie though, or a Netflix series. Are you kidding me? Then just fucking say that and don't give it a 10. Give it an 8 for being creative. But hey, you got to fix some of your gameplay elements because it's lacking. No, it's like it's bullshit.
Dude, everybody jumped on IGN for giving it a 6.7. Like they fucking dogged the shit out of them.
So I read that, and then I saw they did a video review, and he shows it just to back it up. He was like, "Look at this! Just to find a save point, a fast travel, you got to jump through all these other hoops, and then do these cutscenes in every single time. What happened today? Of bringing up the map, hold a button, and then poof, fast travel. Can't do it. You got to spend like 15 minutes just to do a fast travel."
Yeah, but the fact that here's what I'm looking at. IGN, one of the bigger gaming companies, puts out a score that is lower than other people's scores, and everybody immediately fucking dogpiles them. Like, are you going to tell me that there's not an agenda here, that there's not already an idea that this game should be perceived as deep and artsy, and that IGN is fucking stepping out of line because they got dogpiled like they had wrongthink?
Shit. Yeah, no,
by the way, just a step further, every other...
It's IGN.
Here's the thing. That's IGN America. I just want to point it out because I find this very interesting. IGN America, right? The main IGN site, let's just be real, they gave it a 6.8. Yeah. Every other IGN site, IGN Australia, IGN Pluto, whatever, they all gave it a 9.5. You know? Of course. It's hilarious.
I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Metacritic of it, which is, one of the aggregate sites for review scores.
That's the main one everybody uses, you know.
That's the main one, and it has three
use for their
wars. For the ammo,
yeah. Let's just be real.
It has 3 categories. There's a positive, there's a mixed, and there's a negative.
Yeah.
And it has a total of 74 total reviews from critics. How many do you think are positive, mixed, and negative?
Ooh, this. By the way, Carlos, I'm looking at it, so I want to hear these answers. All right, so how many? Yeah, go ahead, Brett. You go first. How many do you think are positive, mixed, and negative?
74 in total.
74 in total. I'm gonna say 50 plus positive.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 50. You're right about that.
20 some mixed and 4 negative.
I'm going to say this about negative. You're correct. That is single digit. You're right about that. Go ahead. What about the rest of you guys? You want to take a guess, or should we tell you what the numbers are?
I'm not going to guess because the negatives are in the positives. That's the problem.
Okay, so check it out. Brett, try not to scream. Positive, out of 74 reviews altogether, right? 62 were positive, 11 mixed, 1 negative.
It's bullshit. Because this is the issue. Yeah. Is that in the positives reviews, they spew a shitload of negatives. I can understand if a positive review says, "Hey, this is great. The story is great. I had so much fun. The gameplay is awesome." That's okay. Then it's justified.
Brett, they don't use
spend fucking 2 paragraphs. Don't give me 2 paragraphs long of all the faults on this shit and still give it a 10. Don't do that because then you're undermining your credibility on all your other fucking reviews. That's it. Because if I, God forbid, I see one of these games say, "Hey, this is a little not fun," and I don't see a 10 on that shit, I'm gonna fucking flame your website. That's what.
Yo, Brett, you're gonna love this.
That's some hip hop gamer anger right there.
There you go. Because it got me so mad.
They do spotlight IGN's review, but IGN Spain, who gave it an 87. That's on the front page, man.
God. I'm bleeding from somewhere.
I will say this: we still haven't played the game, so we
can't say. We can't say.
Dude, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, but that Adam is absolutely right. You cannot, if you are going to write a review, and you're going to talk about the negative aspects of the game and the positive aspects of the game, and then overall not give it a mixed review. That you're just glossing over the negatives. You're just glossing over all the things that people could like. Like, And I realize that all reviews are biased, but fucking try and check yourself little bit. At least read your own review. Like put up a fucking chalkboard and mark pros and cons down, and act like you can fucking count.
By the way, Big Mike mentioned the Coalition gave it a 8.9. Shout out to Rich.
But here's my issue. Yeah. Most people, what is the thing that people keep fucking citing in this reviews? How arty the game is.
Yeah,
Fucking told you. I told you. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah,
I told you.
Who disagreed with you?
You did.
You did.
I didn't disagree with you. What are you talking about? When did I say that? When did I say that? I never said that.
You said it in the 46th minute in the last episode.
Bro, of course this game was going to get the arty thing. As a matter of fact, and you've seen this too from sites, they're talking down to people who don't get the game.
No, exactly. And that's
you knew that was going to happen. That was obvious.
You're going to act like you're the smartest asshole in the room, and then anybody in the room that's like, oh, I think this game is shit, they're just be like, well, somebody's not cultured enough. But in reality, that motherfucker doesn't get it either. That jackass is just sitting there fucking pretending to get it because there's not something there to fucking get. It's all just fucking Japanese weirdness. You're gonna stand there and you're gonna be like, you know what? You know what? I think Fooly Cooly is about a high-minded delve into the psyche of young male adolescents. Fuck you! Fuck you and your high horse that you rode in on. Fuck you sideways with a railroad spike. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. In fact, you are the dumbest asshole in the room who's just saying yes to any fucking half-baked crack-ass theory that people come along because you want to seem like you've processed this, because you want to seem like you have the ability to process. And most of these motherfuckers are going to take any opportunity to look down on literally anybody else. And this is just fucking ammo for this. And the horrible tragedy is there could be a really interesting gaming experience in there if people could just stop being such dicks to each other. But the real truth of the matter is, this game presents a unique opportunity to say I'm better than other gamers, and you can bet your bottom fucking dollar that every reviewer is gonna fucking do that.
Yeah. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Next Gen Player. I follow him on Twitter. He's a good guy, but he got a lot of heat for this particular tweet. Brett, you're gonna go off, man. And let me finish it too. Let me finish the tweet.
Yo.
Death Stranding is a game for the intellectually curious, a thinking person's game. If that sounds like you, you're gonna love this masterpiece of art. He got so much heat. He got so much heat for that shit, man. Motherfuckers came down hard on him, and he's a good guy. He's not a bomb thrower. People came down hard on him, man.
But I mean, is he somebody who's actually played the game?
Yeah, he beat the. Yeah, he got a review copy and everything. He's an industry guy, you know. He got so much shit for that, man. It's hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't tell people to like shit on him for saying that, but it does sound kind of,
Yeah.
It makes you want to slap him.
But it makes my point that there is no consensus here. Like people are they're both camps are fighting each other. And like I said this on Twitter, I'm like, I find it funny that you have two camps fighting each other who haven't even played the fucking game yet. You have people who are shitting on it, never played it. You have people who are praising it, never played it. You both look stupid.
There's not people shitting on it. No, there's not people shitting on it.
Yes, they are. They're totally shitting on it. You know?
No.
I told you this game was boring. You know, it's like, have you played it yet? No, you haven't. You know, and Brett, just to be fair, on the verse, you can't say that if you haven't played, you can't say this game's a masterpiece either. You don't fucking know.
And that's the point. And there are so many people coming out. Okay. We don't have to have played the game to notice the discrepancy between the review scores and what the review says. That's our issue.
No, Brett, that's been a problem with gaming for a while. Like, you read the review, like, okay, they fell away, and you look at the scores, like, wait, what? We've been complaining about that initial forever. So I'm with you on that one, my guys.
And it's coming to a head here. Yeah. Because it's such a high-profile game, and it's been so long, highly anticipated, and it's so niche, and it's taking that we're doing a very cerebral game, which just gives people an opportunity to say that good things are like. Do you know how many fucking people told me Snowpiercer was a good movie?
The Willy Wonka spinoff?
Yeah. By the way,
no.
By the way, I want to quickly throw this in here. This is the next question, but we're already actually on it. Damien just says, "Can gamers take reviews seriously if the reviewers are saying Death Stranding is boring and you have to wait 10 hours for the game to pick up, but it still gets a 9 out of 10?" Is that the Kojima factor?
No, that is a Kojima. That's a kiss ass factor. The shit is, think about it, Tony. If I would, let's say there was no Kojima name, there's nothing, and I said, hey, if a game, I just read this review, guy said it was super boring and it was not fun at all to play. What do you think? But he liked the story. What do you think the score is from 1 to 10? Would you even fucking think it was a 9.5 or 10?
I would like 7 at best.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Or listen,
you motherfuckers gave a quarter of the forgiveness of this that you give of this to fucking Fallout 76.
I knew it.
Exactly. Fallout under these reviewers should be fucking off the charts.
Yeah, if Kojima made Fallout, 10s across the board.
Everybody go.
I don't know about that, man.
Get your console.
I don't know about that, bro.
I don't know.
Oh, no, of course, no. They'd be talking about how the scores are a metaphor for the rampant consumerism in today's society. People figure out all kinds of ways to layer things into that.
Nah, Brett, I completely disagree with that. If Kojima released a game that was that buggy, I don't even know if he has a career anymore.
Yeah, that's also true.
All right, how about Sea of Thieves?
Oh, even worse. It doesn't even have a story.
All right. Here's another one. We hear all the time of these games getting attacked whenever they have product placement and all that shit. Like,
Jesus.
This fucking shit has it in your face with Monster Energy drinks and all kinds of shit. Praising it. That's all right.
I don't disagree that Kojima might be getting a pass in a lot of aspects because, like that guy mentioned on that tweet, it's like, you got to be intellectually curious to enjoy this type of game, and it's like this pretentious bullshit. But there's also there's been a backlash, like a really significant backlash. What is it?
Backlash
on Twitter, and it's because it's a Kojima game, because it's a Kojima Sony /
I don't see that. I don't. It doesn't.
No, that exists. Remember, it exists on.
There's always
the Kojima haters and you have the lovers.
There's always going to be that for everything. But I think the big issue, and that's where we see this diversity here, is that people are like, what the hell with these reviews? If you're saying all the negative and you're giving it this super high score, you're undermining the whole idea of judging a game by the different categories of what builds and what makes a game.
That's a fair argument to have for sure.
Yeah,
but then again, it goes back to what I've been saying. Don't pay attention to review scores. Review scores are fucking dumb. Just read the text.
It's also a time-tested problem that's we've been talking about since the show
began. Yeah.
The thing is that
talking about that.
Yeah, or like we've always talked about like where essentially the review score does not actually reflect the thing. In fact, back when I actually used to read reviews, I always used to find it was just like you read the thing, it's like, wow, this has a 10 out of 10 score, and nothing in this review says that I should buy this game.
I don't listen. I back when I used to, I don't read reviews anymore. Back when I used to check out before the score. I'm like, okay, because I know it's not going to match whatever the fuck these guys say. This has been going on for years. So I agree with you guys on that. It's bullshit. That's why I'm like, abolish review scores. Get rid of those fucking things. They're nothing but trouble. I can't.
But it doesn't
Every
have
6 months I have to yell about this shit. Not even say the last time I yelled about this was with Gears of War 5. Oh, this game got 84. This game's fucking horrible. And then those same guys. Oh, Death Stranding got 84. It's fucking amazing. Are you kidding me? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you know what they have in common though? Adam hates both of them.
Yeah. And then you have the Gears of War guy. Oh yeah, 84. This game, Gears of War 5 got 84. It's fucking fantastic.
I was
Death Stranding got 84.
You're missing, Tony.
No, you don't. I don't think you're getting my point. And my point is, review scores are fucking stupid, and people put too much emphasis.
It's okay.
I've been screaming about this forever, Brett, and I've been screwing about this shit forever.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, there's that problem. Plus, there's the ability to look down, like. But if I said before, like, I disagree and I don't like Gears, like, you didn't have ammunition to come back at me with. You didn't necessarily have to be like, well, that's clearly because you're a Philistine and have no taste or culture.
Oh yeah, you
like,
gotta get rid of that bullshit. Yeah, I don't like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, the quote you read on fucking Twitter reminds me of the infamous. Have you heard of the infamous Rick and Morty quote? The Rick and Morty is for to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, that is that exact same flavor, exact same kind of douchebaggery.
Wait,
exact same kind of like.
So is this another example of us vehemently agreeing with each other? Because I'm with you. Like, you got to get rid of that pretentious bullshit, man. Like, dude, those clips you sent me, Brett texted me some, like, quotes and stuff. I'm like, damn, no wonder, man. No wonder nobody takes these guys' reviews seriously. They sound like a bunch of fucking clowns. You know?
Yeah, no, we are aggressively agreeing with each other. You are correct on that.
I hate you so much, but I agree.
It's like I agree with what you said, but it's even more than that. I agree with you even more than you know.
Yeah. All right, so we're all agreement. Stop the pretentious bullshit. It's fucking stupid. You know,
real
dumbass
quick,
journalist. Someone's about to go over there, slap the shit out of you, man.
Right, shout out to Violence and Empathy. He said, Sea of Thieves doesn't have a 2-hour ending cutscene.
Actually, no, I liked his rating system. A number out of Kojima.
Wouldn't it be like by the logic of a lot of people, it should just be XX. Because because there's no number that can go to the level that this supposed
Kojima game. As a matter of fact, it's gonna be 3 X's, man, because it can't contain just 2. You know,
it's gonna just be like 80% of a Kojima game.
Yeah, like when you buy a Kojima game, it's so powerfully radiant that when you put it up to your other games, it'll melt all of them. Like that's how powerful this shit is.
Hey, a Kojima game was what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, oh man,
man, it's just fucking crazy, crazy.
Anyway, here's another one. Oh, go ahead, Adam, and then the next question Carlos is gonna like. It's still about Death Stranding though.
But that's
I thought it was gonna be about Andy.
I'm still shocked by it. I just can't believe it. It's just that how they fuck, I can't even think about it. It's so calculated. No, it gets me so fucking, it's just baffling because it's like when I couldn't believe what I was reading. I'm like, yo, all this shit has to be fake. This is a Twilight Zone. I'm still sleeping. This can't be. I mean, none of this shit. I swear, if this fucking game wins all these other awards and stuff, I mean, this guy gets voted president of whatever fictional world he wants to I'm gonna lose my shit
because some Japanese guy over Trump.
I saw that. I saw fucking reviews because I just went on a troll on this and reading everybody who fucking had a copy. I wanted to read the review, and one person was talking about how this was a smack in the face to Trump and that this was all. I'm like, really? You think Kojima gave 2 shits about all that? This was all toward Trump. This game, come on now.
Yeah, that guy's just putting his own biases in there. By the way, Glorious
everybody wants to see something else, but then you can't just say, all right, the story's great. Fine, if the story's great, okay, that's awesome. That's great news. I like to hear that. But don't then in the same breath tell me that the game is boring. It's not fun. It's got a horrible stashing system, and like every time you pick up shit, it feels like torture because you're walking in real time, super slow, like a snail to get to point A, point B, and then you just want to go and do something else. But then at the same time, give it a fucking 10. It just doesn't add up.
I want to read this from Glorious where he wants us to read this. He goes, I hated the fundamental gameplay of Red Dead 2, but I would still give it an 8.5 because the emotional impact of the story was that good to me. So there's that, you know.
I mean, there's always those games that, I mean, they're going to have aspects that you don't like, but there's some other aspects
dude, okay, look, I'm going to look at it this way. My favorite game twist / story has to be BioShock, right? The fucking... Yeah, well, no, I mean just of all time, period. Like one of my favorite, like it has a deep immersive story. And
that was also a game that everybody was touting as a thinking man's game.
That was a game.
But
it was a good one.
It was fun. It was fun. That's the thing.
It was fun. Yeah, a lot of fun elements. Yeah.
People were still using that game. The only way you can understand it was using the same sort of conversation with that.
That
game
is true.
But the game was fun. But see, and there's the problem. There's nothing wrong.
The end all be all.
No, I get it, Manny. But here's the thing. It's all right for a game to have depth. It's all right for a game to have high-minded ideas that even some of the audience can't get. There's nothing wrong with that. To have that be the only thing you have.
No one said it was boring. That's the thing. No one said, wow, BioShock is fucking boring and not fun. No one said that shit.
Yeah, nobody said you had to play into the last 10% of the game for the story to even be entertaining. The story isn't entertaining 90% of the way through the game, according to most of these reviews. It's the fucking
twist 10 hours ending. Yeah. Was it the ending? Is that what they said? That is the ending
Yeah, like the last 10% of the game, there's some big twist, and that's what makes the story riveting and engaging. That you have to finish the game, otherwise you're not going to be able to appreciate it.
Sounds like Dragon Age 2. I didn't like that game for 90% of it. Then I got to the 10%. I'm like, oh, this game's actually pretty fucking cool. Just because.
Yeah, but would you give it a 9 out of 10 for that?
No, I wouldn't do that. I would probably but the thing is, the story was so fucking good. I would still give it an 8. You know,
but was the story
fine?
The first 90% of the game, or is it just because the story was that good?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's just me. I've never experienced a story so good that it can save an otherwise boring game.
I have, and I have two examples. One is a little bit older, one's a little bit more recent, even though the recent one's pretty old too. Blood Omen 2, right? Blood Omen 2. Jankiest piece of shit game I had played up until before I played Fallout 3. Jankiest piece of shit game. I loved it because the story was so fucking awesome, but the gameplay sucked. It was ugly looking, but I loved the story, right? And then the most recent one, the first Mass Effect game. I think that game is fucking terrible as a game. The shooting sucks. The cover sucks.
It was fine.
It was like mechanically. I'm talking about for myself. It was not fun to play, but I fucking loved that game because the story was so riveting and the characters were so good. You know, but
for the last 10%,
for the entire game, I was like, this game sucks. This is horrible.
That's my point.
You know?
You didn't sit there and say the game was boring.
No, it wasn't boring because but no, here's the thing.
I've read books like that too, and I've said the same thing about books. I shouldn't have to read 12 to 1,500 fucking pages of story before your goddamn book is interesting.
Oh yeah, by the way, I think we're arguing two different things.
The story is amazing, but then you just at the same breath say that's fucking boring. Boring means the story, right? It's not just gameplay. It's fucking boring. So if you're
that is true. By the way, just to be fair, whoa, stop. By the way, just to be fair, I think we're arguing two different things, and I apologize for that. I was actually arguing because the other conversation I've seen on Twitter is, are games fun? That's the other. So I brought that up, unintentionally. So my bad about that.
It depends on what you consider fun.
If you're reviewing a game, you think it's boring, you shouldn't be giving anything near even a 7 if you say it's boring. So I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. You know,
now what game? Something else completely. What's fun? It's up to the person playing the game. Some people don't like sport games. That's not fun.
So here's a fun one. This is just slightly unrelated.
By the way, Brett, Violence and Empathy just threw Wheel of Time under the bus as something that takes too long to get good.
Oh my God! No, I will 100% agree. I'm going to go off on a side tangent here. One of the things I warn people about with this book when I hand them the first book is this book is almost entirely prologue. Be warned that it's almost entirely prologue, and then I tell them, but it's because the rest of the series isn't a bunch of serialized stories like most stories that you've read. It is one giant story. So if you have a book that is 10,000 pages long, I'm sorry, the first 500 is going to be prologue because that's the appropriate story structure of a book that long. But be aware. Dude, that book, like, the first time I read it, I was like, when the fuck does this thing feel like the prologue is over? Like, I'm ready for the goddamn story. It's halfway through the book, like 700 pages, but it's worth it.
Manny, go ahead, Manny. Go ahead.
By the reverse side of this, you remember how you said, okay, the last 10% of the game of supposedly from the reviews was just Death Stranding, that's when it gets good. So now the reverse of that would be Mass Effect 3.
Oh shit, that's right. Where 90% of it is fucking amazing, and then the last 10% ruins it.
But that would be the story. The gameplay was still fun, though. It was still fun until you got to the ending.
For me, I actually still liked Mass Effect 3 despite the stupid ending.
I think that's what we all said. Actually, we all enjoyed the ending.
Yeah, the game is fucking amazing. Yeah, but that ending fucking.
What did you want? I mean, I didn't.
They gave me the ending I wanted later on, so I forgave them. They gave me the ending I wanted, so I was happy.
Yeah, but everybody went into explosion mode because of just the way the ending was, and we've also mentioned that on our show.
Yeah. By the way, Glorious Word says that the reviewers have limited vocabulary. He wasn't happy with some of the negative reviews he saw. Let me see what other Death Stranding.
For me, I've just been steering clear of any sort of reviews on this thing. Like I saw Young had like a crazy 30-minute review of the game.
Yeah, I'm not looking at reviews either.
I saw some other people put reviews up, and I just been kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna just let myself make the decision and not wait for. But what I'll do is, like I even said this on Twitter, like I'll just wait till after I'm done with the game, and then I'll look around and see what everybody thought and see if it goes with whatever I was thinking at the time.
Yo, Barry, you crazy, man. He goes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters wasn't the best fighting game, but the intricate and touching storylines both saved it.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to Cade Antonio, man. He's been leaving a lot of, he or she has been leaving a lot of comments in there. Shout out to you. I've never seen that name before, man. Shout out to you.
I just hate when people try to just generalize them. It's like, oh, well, if you hate this, you hate all of Kojima then. It's like, no, I like Metal Gear games. I like him as a creator. He's great. He has great ideas. But every once in a while somebody can come up with something that's a stinker and just face the facts. If you're going to point out all these negatives, just admit, this wasn't all that great. It was okay. The story's great. He was on the right track, but then again, you can give him a pass that this is his first, game under his own control. But don't go and fucking give it a perfect after spending 2 or 3 paragraphs just bashing the shit out of it. That's the thing that bothers me with this. It's like no one wants to fess up, and I don't understand if it's to kiss his ass or is it kissing Sony's ass because they're scared that they're going to get blacklisted. What's the reason behind it? Because it makes it seem like we always hear the thing of reviewers are paid off. I don't think they're paid off, but I think some of them are scared, and comes down to being scared.
You just give an opportunity for a man to look down on somebody else, and they'll fucking move mountains to do it. Oh, that's all. It's weaponized intellectualism, and that's the thing that fucking pisses me off the most about this. Because let's be honest, most of the people who feel that they are very smart, I know lots of big words. Like they are falling prey to a classic trap of not knowing how much they don't know. They're just educated enough to realize the things that they know, but not educated enough to know the things that they don't know. So half the time when you're running into these people who are coming at you with some high-minded pseudo-intellectual bullshit, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They're pretty much just a dunce walking off of the internet or walking in, and they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. You want them to tell them to just shut the fuck up and go sit back at the kids' table. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like Rick and Morty, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you have to have a high IQ to understand a lot of this stuff. Like, yeah, there's a lot of really interesting jokes in there. The same with Archer. There's a lot of really interesting highbrow literary jokes in there, but they're mixed in with other things. You have to have something to appeal to all audience, and if something is a truly well-crafted narrative or piece of art, it should be able to appeal to the cerebral, the intellectual, as well as the more lowbrow audience. Like, yeah, maybe that means you need a couple of fucking explosions or something like that. Or maybe you just build artful ambiance to give people a feeling that they take away from that kind of thing. Like, you should be hitting more than one box. And so if your defense is, I'm sorry, you're just not smart enough to understand this game, fuck you, it's not a good game then.
Oh.
The same with, I'm sorry, if your response is, you're just not smart enough to understand this movie, fuck you, it's not a good movie then. It's not a good book then.
All right. We already heard your opinions on Joker, Brad. Let's settle down.
All right,
Brad, you're not smart enough to understand the Joker.
Apparently.
Yeah, I want to move on to the next question. Still about Death Stranding, though. Carlos, man, what are your first month sales and lifetime sales predictions for Death Stranding? I want you to go first.
Oh shit! First lifetime sales and
first month and then lifetime.
First month, I think it'll do over 2 million. I think it's especially like this game is so, what's the term?
Hyped.
It's so hyped. It's so polarized. That's the correct term.
Polarizing, yeah.
It's so polarizing, and a lot of people are talking about it. But it is, quote unquote, a PS4 console exclusive, so that'll give it a boost also, because a lot of people, like to show up for those types of games, at least for Sony's side. So yeah, I think over 2 million, maybe lifetime sales, maybe 8 million around there. I don't think this is a 10 or anything crazy. I just don't think this is going to be, because what is Spider-Man's over 10, right?
13 million.
Yeah.
No.
And that's like the best case scenario for any game, any of these types of exclusive games.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the best-selling PlayStation 4 exclusive, right? I'm pretty sure.
It probably is. Yeah.
Yeah. God of War ain't touching no Spider-Man numbers,
Yeah, and God of War is like around 9-10ish, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I agree with you with the 2 million. That it'll sell 2 million off the bat in the first month. Lifetime, I'm gonna say between 4 and 5. I don't think it's gonna sell 8. The 8 is a little too much, I think. So, yeah, Carlos, I'm putting the gauntlet down. I think it's gonna sell between 4 and 5 lifetime.
You throwing down, man?
Are we making a bet?
Uh-oh. I mean, lifetime sales is kind of. It's going to take a long time to get there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But then again, imagine if they released the Butter Edition for PS5.
Exactly.
I'm putting it down. 5 million lifetime.
Are we? Because we're talking PC also, right?
Oh shit!
That's why I'm taking into account the whole lifetime stuff.
Making me think now.
Oh man.
Sorry, Tony, your bet is in.
Oh really? No, Brett. The thing is,
too late.
Wait, no, because I forgot about PC.
Already shook hands, bro.
You sounded awfully like it sounded awful like you were finished, man.
No, I thought I was. I forgot about PC, man.
But I mean, it's
either way, both of you.
I'm gonna go. I'm putting it down right now. 6 million lifetime.
Okay.
I forgot about PC.
But PC sales are hard to calculate too. Like, do they normally take those into account?
6 million first month due to third. Nah, son. No fucking way, man.
No, definitely.
No
I mean, you'd think it'd be able to push that if you take into account its player base, but for some reason, no. Games like even with a 70 million user player base or 70 million user base, like Spider-Man, probably best-selling game and topped out about 13 million.
Yeah,
I have no idea why.
I should say Brett, it didn't top out yet because it's still on NPDs every fucking month.
Dude,
it didn't top out yet, man. It didn't top out yet.
It's a good game.
It is. It's fantastic.
It's
I mean, you have to have a high IQ to understand it. It's a good game.
Kingpin shows up. You got to think about that shit.
Let me give you a recent exclusive game.
Rub your brain cells together, man. All right.
God of War 2018, Dad of War. It sold 3.1 million copies in 3 days. Damn. It sold 5 million copies in the first month. So that's like almost best case scenario. That's not Spider-Man, but it's on the upper echelon of those.
But it's
I'm gonna guess 20% below Dad of War.
20% below. So 20% of 5 million is
20% below. So 80% of.
80% of. Okay.
Hey, Brett, Glorious War wants to know, did you see the Rick and Morty Death Stranding ad?
I did, and it was fucking hilarious. I agree. If you the baby, do you get super?
Well, if you jump higher or run faster, all right, let's eat the baby.
So that's 4 million in 1 month, Brett. Yeah. I think that's too much.
Oh, Glorious
no,
War says,
I think he's talking lifetime.
Lifetime. We're talking about lifetime.
Oh, lifetime.
Yeah, I'm at lifetime.
Not that 1 month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Glorious War says Death Stranding is greater to him than Spider-Man PS4 hype levels. He's really hyped for it, I guess. What's your final number for lifetime?
20% below Dad of War.
What is that?
Yeah, what's lifetime for God of War?
I think God of War came in at what? 8
million, 9 million. You guys have told us in the chat, man.
I'll look it up.
And I don't even know what the fuck that
around 8 or 9. So I'm guessing around 6.
I'm a writer.
What was the lifetime of Spider-Man?
It's Chris. It's still ongoing. And so far, it's 13 million.
So far, it's 13 million. Yeah, I'm gonna say Death Stranding will hit 10 million.
Damn.
You know why? I think the hype factor is real. I think there's a mistrust in reviews, like Damien said. I think people are going, "Oh, you think this is artsy, whatever? You think I'm stupid? Or I'm gonna play this shit." And then there's gonna be guys on PC who want to mod the game, like they'll buy it just to fuck with it.
Yeah. Chris, I agree with you, but do you think that there's a chance that there could be a backlash? I feel like there might be a big backlash. Like, this game could be a quick burn. Like, it gets into the community's hands, and 2 weeks later, the general consensus on Twitter is, man, it's not really worth it. Don't bother.
Well, you know what?
The M. Night Shyamalan of games.
It's gonna get deflected because I guarantee if there's a backlash, like they're like, oh, Kojima sold us a lemon, then the media in typical fashion is gonna go, oh, gamers are stupid, and then it's gonna deflect right back to backlash against the gaming journalists, right? That's what will happen.
And that'll still sell more copies. So it's either going to sell grace copies or controversy copies, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
By the way,
I mean,
that worked for Far Cry 5. Yeah.
I'm moving over.
Absolutely, yeah.
The fire's warm over here, and I think he's right. So.
Glorious War and Big Mike said it's sold over 10 million. And that's what I've seen.
Damn, man, I already shook hands. Chris, you're convincing me, but I got to stick with what I said, man. But remember Far Cry 5? That game got shit on by all the game journalists. Gamers were like, really? I'm going to buy this fucking game now.
Yeah, but that's when they get shit on by game journalists. They get praised by game journalists, but all the other gamers on Reddit and Twitter are telling them don't bother. That's a bit different scenario. But
yeah, that is true.
2 million first month, 10 million. 8 million worldwide. Lifetime.
And I think there's going to be a bunch of people who just are like, fuck Konami, and will buy this game anyway just out of hate. Out of hate, yeah.
Yeah, that's also true. And the Kojima supporters as well,
Yeah.
Fucking Jeff's gonna buy like 20 copies.
Anybody else want to get in on this? Adam, Manny, you want to get on these predictions?
I'll tell you something.
No, man, I know, Manny, you don't care.
I don't care.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Listen, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, 600 million in the first 3 days.
Copies
Sold 600.
Adam, no game in history has ever sold 600.
I'm looking at the numbers
You're looking
right
maybe $600 million.
That's not impossible.
$1,000,000.
No
Okay,
dollars. We're
dollars.
talking
Numbers.
copies.
I'm telling you, the point is that whatever
Adam,
we're bitching
no
about.
game in
Listen.
history
Why,
has
you told me it was my piece.
No, it's not your piece when you're incorrect. We can't spout shit like that. So you're telling me, you're telling me like more than 500 million human beings on Earth bought this game in the first day.
100 million. The point is,
Adam, no. I'm not letting this slide. I'm not letting this slide. That's incorrect information. $600 million.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying how much it made.
Okay, $600 million, fine, but it didn't sell 600 million copies.
Listen, but the point is that regardless of whatever your numbers are spitting out, it's still not going to hit those type of numbers.
What game does? Unless you're Rockstar, no game can do numbers.
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't even matter. This game is not going to get anywhere near what we're talking about with Spider-Man and with God of War.
No, of course.
Those are established franchises.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
No one's arguing.
Hold on a goddamn minute.
I smell it.
Throwdown. Let's go.
Are you telling me that that's not going to be some of the 3 biggest game purchases this holiday season?
No, it won't,
tell me
because
it's not going to be put up there in the same caliber.
Because
it's not Call of Duty, it's not Pokemon, and it's not some other big game that's going to be.
It ain't outselling no Pokemon, son. It ain't outselling.
If this holiday, even for young teens or for kids, whatever, and parents want to go and start buying games and do that type of shit, they're not going to go and grab this game and say, yeah, I think my 10-year-old is going to want to play this shit. No,
but your 14-year-old will.
He's still not going to want to.
Wait, hold on, Brett. I'm going to take your side now. Adam, are you saying this game will not even be in the top 5 of this year?
No, it won't even be in the top 5.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
No,
right now.
that's too many other good games. Think about the other good games that are out now.
It doesn't matter. This game has so much hype behind it, man.
It doesn't matter. Like you said, it's an exclusive title.
It is. So Spider-Man. Look how much that shit sold.
Yeah, Death Stranding,
and that's Spider-Man.
Fallen Order.
This is not Spider-man. We agreed on that. This is not a
top 5 franchise. Come on,
not even fucking up. No. Maybe 7, maybe 8. Definitely not top 5.
So whoa. Hey, so Adam, you think you're not going to buy this for your 10-year-old, but you're going to buy them God of War?
No, I'm not going to buy that either. What I'm saying is, there's still Spider-Man. There's still Avengers. There's still the Marvel
Avengers.
Adam, before you keep
Avengers doesn't drop this year, man.
Not that. I'm talking about the Marvel one for the Switch.
Adam, before you keep going, like, what are you saying? Top 5 for the year for PlayStation, or top 5 for the year for all the platforms?
Well, it's definitely not all the platforms because it's not going to be on PC this year.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So
with that point,
yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's going to be one of the top 5 selling games of the year.
It's not going to outsell Call of Duty. It's not going to outsell Pokemon.
No, not going to outsell FIFA. It's not going to outsell Madden.
Yeah, you're right about
that. It's not going to outsell NBA.
I forgot about the fucking sports games. You're right.
Exactly. It's not going to knock those off the top. It's
maybe GTA or Red Dead 2.
Wait, how did we get into this argument again?
No, you were just talking about.
I started it. And Adam, I'm going to say, first of all, you got to cut the sports games out of there. They're judged by a completely different metric.
Yeah, Call of Duties don't count. Yeah, you're right about that.
But
Call of Duties don't count either. But Call of Duties and sports games are both judged by their own metric. They do not follow the ebb and flow of the rest of the gaming industry. They are essentially insulated markets.
Yes.
So we're not even going to bother talking about how much money they make, because those are
those are people that go out to buy these things.
But they're still very different. They're not the average gamer, you know?
Yeah, if you get a PS4,
see, but again, we go with the average gamer. I got buddies on my list that put in like 60, 70 hours just playing these fucking sport games. So they probably play
your buddies they're bro gamers. They're not really like the average gamers.
Oh, don't go down that road again.
I am going down that road. I'm totally going down that road.
The market.
You're talking about guys that only play Call of Duty and Madden games. Like, they don't count, you know?
What do you mean they don't count? If they play all those sport games and they play shooting games, no, that's come on now.
They don't count, man. They don't count. They're not like us. Come on, son.
Come on now. They're still spending money like us.
Yeah, they are, but those guys shouldn't be.
They're not playing phone games. Don't put them in the phone game
category. That's the point. Are those cats going out and playing a lot? Are they playing a lot of God of War?
If they weren't doing it, we wouldn't be seeing those games on the top 10 list.
Yeah, but
no, Adam, but
is
a Call of Duty player going out and playing other games other than Call of Duty? No, generally not. That's why they're insulated. The same with the bro gamers.
The bro gamers play other shooters. That's the whole thing. They play Fortnite. A lot of them. I mean, look at the fucking numbers with these streamers that are doing it.
But those guys are insulated too. That's all they're fucking playing. They're not playing a bunch of games like we are.
So you would say that somebody like Ninja and stuff, they're not real gamers?
If he's only playing one game, I would make that argument. You know,
nobody's saying that. We're just talking about the market of narrative games.
We've said it before. If you're only playing one game, that's it. I'm not calling you a fucking gamer. I'm sorry. That you're not.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, you're a blank gamer.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a Call of Duty player.
Exactly. I don't really count you. You know. Oh no, Brett, am I sounding too gatekeepy?
yo man, the geek.
A little bit. But
I'm sorry, I don't count those guys as part of the conversation. You know.
Yeah, but these things are they've found a way to exploit a single hobby. Like, you're buying a new Madden every year, but it's the same goddamn game,
same shit,
and you fucking know it. And you know nobody else in any other sector of gaming would put up with half of the bullshit, or half of the microtransactions, or half of the having to shell out 60 fucking. You guys want to talk about Bethesda comes out with a subscription plan. They make you buy the same fucking game every fucking year, and you don't say a goddamn thing. And you buy card packs on top of that. So shut your whore mouth.
Look at a sport. All right, so look at a sport game that has competition, and the competitor fails, and that's NBA. You got 2K, doesn't you got EA? It's gotten to the point that NBA Live is not coming out with another one in 2020.
So you're telling me this isn't an insulated market?
People just prefer the 2K one. So it's not that they're like, oh, well, we're just going to keep buying the same one over and over again. It's what they prefer, because the other game was better, I think, and it was cheaper.
Dude, Call of Duty and both of them, you buy the same fucking game every year.
No, they're not. You cannot say Black Ops and Modern Warfare in the same game. They are completely different games.
Oh my god, they're new levels in the same fucking game.
No. There's no levels. That's the shit. There was no campaign in Black Ops 4. It was just multiplayer and zombies. There was no zombies in Modern Warfare. There's a campaign.
Dude, that game is more repetitive than Dynasty Warriors.
There is no 32 versus 32 in Black Ops. There is Battle Royale in fucking Black Ops 4. There is no Battle Royale in Modern Warfare.
What you say about Dynasty Warriors?
They are completely different games created by completely different studios.
All right, we're going down the rabbit hole, man. Let's get back on track here. Okay, GZDR with a little bit kind of weird questions here. I'm going to read this one slowly. Should we wait until Death Stranding comes out and the other review sites give their scores before we say it's a flop? This is where he loses me. The math says if 84 more sites give it a 96, then the final Metacritic will be 90. That's not going to happen, dude. 84 sites, really? But I do agree with it. Like, we should probably just wait until to play it for ourselves and judge it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a flop. I wouldn't see it that way. And that's the thing. It's like people are admitting it's not a bad game.
How is it a flop? How is it a flop before it's actually sold anything?
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, we've been saying on the podcast for the last 2 weeks that this thing is. Our argument is that this thing is flop proof. That even if it's a fucking fart,
we're seeing that. We're seeing that now. Yeah,
we all agree on that. We vigorously agree on that.
So I think we can actually say we can all agree that it's not going to be a flop.
Yeah, we could.
Even if it sucks, it's not going to be a flop.
It could be trash. It could be trash. You know,
but it's not going to be a flop.
No, it's not. No way. Even Adam will agree it's not going to flop.
Yeah, no, it's not going to flop. It's definitely not going to flop. But that's the shit. It's like it sounds like it's 7 game. You know, an average game. Don't fucking give me 10s. That's all. Don't give me 10s on.
Here's another game that was not actually a flop, but got railed on by both fans and the people, the general public and the video game reviewers, which is the Order 1886. That game was actually not a flop. It did quite well.
It sold 5 million. Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, Watch Dogs is another one.
They all do. Skate 3 made triple profits and still never got a sequel after that one. They called it a flop.
All right. By the way, GCDR, he's always trying to, he's always asking us variations of this type of question. It's like, will Death Stranding outsell Spider-Man? So here's this week's variation of the question. Many fans are feeling sympathy for Kojima because of how poorly people are reviewing the game. Will this cause people to buy it in mass, making it outsell Spider-Man? No one buys the game for sympathy, bro.
Nobody buys anything out of sympathy.
No.
where the I'm gonna say this: the general the populace that's in the know of anything Death Stranding is very small.
Yeah.
In Kojima themes. Like,
that's why I don't see it hitting those top numbers because of
it's
that
not
reason.
gonna. And let's just be honest. Come on, listen. We know who Kojima is because we're hardcore gamers, right? Regular slow Joe Blows, they don't know who the fuck Kojima is.
No,
They don't.
no,
They don't know. They never heard of him. They're like, so who's that Japanese guy? They don't know who he is.
No, I disagree with that.
Well, you're telling me if I go to my mom right now, she's gonna know who Hideo Kojima is? Come on, man.
Yeah. No.
She's
Okay,
gonna know
that's
who
like
he
saying.
is. She's gonna call him Gino,
Tony, no. That's like saying most people don't know who CD Projekt Red is.
Yeah.
Oh, most people don't.
They don't.
Then why is everybody so fucking hyped for
It's
Cyberpunk?
people in our bubble, man. We're looking
in
into
our
the
bubble.
No.
Joe Blow
Go out of the bubble. They don't know
doesn't know
this
about Cyberpunk. He doesn't know.
They
about
don't
that
know
shit.
this shit.
If anything, the only thing that general audience knows about Cyberpunk is, hey, it's that game with Keanu Reeves in it.
There you
That's
go.
it.
Okay, hold on.
There you go.
Yeah, let
me fix this for you. There's a magic trick you can use to fix this. It's called From the Maker of. And every once in a while, they'll use it to be able to tie somebody from a previous project to a current project to be able to build support for it. So all you have to say is from the maker of Metal Gear.
But here's the thing.
That's all you need to say.
But they're not going to do that.
They can't do that
because of the hatred. They're not going to do. As a matter of fact, think about it like this: all this time that you've seen Death Stranding advertised, you've never in the advertisement once heard them say from the creator of Metal Gear. They said Hideo Kojima. That's all they say. They never say Metal Gear.
We've all been on Twitter and we've been in the forums. You really think people don't know who Kojima is?
No, we don't know hardcore gamers. But I'm talking about the Joe Blows don't know who the fuck.
Yeah, we're talking about
Brett,
the people that walk into a store that want to pick up a new game.
Yeah,
Brett, I can guarantee you that the overwhelming majority of those fucking kids playing Fortnite and doing those stupid little dances don't know who the fuck Hideo Kojima is.
Nope.
I know two people who are interested in
shit. Hip hop gamer can't even pronounce his name correctly.
They've never played a Metal Gear, but they know who Kojima is, and they're interested in playing.
They're probably outliers, bro. Like I'm telling you, most people don't know who the hell Kojima is.
Hideo Kojima is in God status when it comes to our bubble. But outside of our bubble, nobody knows who the fuck he is.
See, it's funny. Where are you guys getting your information? Because you do realize
life. When I go out,
this is the world, man. Roam the world.
Yeah,
I could text my nephews right now and ask them if they know who Hideo Kojima is.
What do you guys think I talk about when I tattoo on people?
Yeah, you talk about games.
Constantly talking about like video games and what are you excited?
Yeah, so you're saying we don't talk to people ourselves, bro? Come on,
number
man.
one, you're also in a sort of locked sort of a section there because there are a lot of people who are.
You're in a bubble too, man.
Yeah, that's a total bubble right there.
Yeah. Exactly. So it lets me know.
It's not general public, I can tell you that.
Yeah, a guy's going to a Star Wars tattoo shop. He's probably going to know what the fuck is up. You know?
Yeah.
You'd be
like
surprised.
He's going to be down, you know. But listen, yeah, you're like, Brett, I don't disagree with you. If you were to say from the creator of Metal Gear, yes, people would know that. But they're not even the game comes out in fucking 5 days. They have never said that once in the advertisement. They're not billing us.
They don't need to. There's enough people on Twitter. There's enough people
don't know who Kojima is.
I still have people telling me that they're surprised that wrestling's even around. There's still a WWE. That's still a thing. Right. And fucking The Rock is the biggest action star. Came from Batista. Yeah. Come on now. You
I got a better example.
People just don't
follow Miyamoto, right? Regular people don't know who he is. He created fucking Mario. They don't know who he is either.
Yeah, but he doesn't go around showboating his name like Kojima does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. He's the face of Nintendo.
Miyamoto hasn't made a video game in like a million years, and he's still on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. He gets credit for games that he didn't even make.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what happens. That's Miyamoto's skill.
And a regular Joe Blow doesn't know who Miyamoto is either.
I'm sure for like the people that know that Nintendo makes these games, I'm sure they still think that Miyamoto makes Zelda games.
Oh, they think he's in charge of all of it. He's overseeing every single project.
He still makes them. He makes all of them.
So yeah, for the people that.
You make it sound like your average Joe Blow doesn't have access to Twitter or Reddit.
They don't care.
Is a fucking idiot.
They don't care. That's not what they follow. They don't give a shit.
They don't care.
Yeah, average Joe Blow will walk into GameStop and take that guy's advice.
Exactly.
On what to buy.
That's it.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Hey man, that GameStop."
Right, here's one. Here's something for you, Brett. What's something that you know nothing about?
I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brett, do you know about the Premier League?
No.
There you go. The Premier League is bigger than Hideo Kojima.
It's bigger than any other sport in any league in the world. You know what I mean?
We live in a bubble, Brett. We live in a bubble.
That's the way it is, man.
Like
that's something I'm very aware of.
When you talk to somebody who follows it, they're like, you shouldn't know.
What happened, Brett?
Yes, definitely.
What are we talking about?
Wait, what was the question? Hold on. What was this?
What is the Premier League?
Okay, go ahead.
The Premier League is the league in England where the best league in England for soccer.
Best league in the world.
So
best players there.
It might be
just spent on it.
It's the best.
Nothing to do with video games. So you're gonna ask me about a hobby that I'm not interested in, that people.
But this is what we're saying.
Don't know what's in there.
This is what we're saying. When somebody walks into one of these stores just to pick up something to play, or for somebody else, they'll just say, "Hey, what my kid or my friend, whatever, what's good?" They're not saying, "Hey, where's the Kojima game? I heard he made some shit." They're going in.
Is he the man who made Fortnite?
It's like someone. It's like you
actually he has worked in a game store, Brett.
Yeah, Brett. It's like average Joe going to a bar watching a football game, and what is it? What he's now a football fan now? You know, like people dabble in shit that they're not particularly knowledgeable.
Yeah, that's it. They just a little bit.
No, but they know what the biggest fucking name in football is.
Yeah, let's just be honest. The guy who's selling this game for the regular Joe Blow is not Kojima. It's fucking Norman Reedus.
But Hideo Kojima isn't the biggest name in gaming.
He's not. He isn't. You know, but again, Miyamoto is bigger than him, and even a regular average Joe doesn't know who Miyamoto is. You know,
Miyamoto isn't bigger than him. He does not have more.
Oh yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Miyamoto's been around.
He doesn't have.
Miyamoto is the godfather of gaming.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
He was making games where Kojima was fucking still.
Do you guys know what name recognition is?
Yes, Brett, no. I'm about to fucking drop the mic right now.
It's spicy tonight, man.
You were mentioning the whole from. Wait, you can hear me? Wait. So you were mentioning the whole thing. Oh, they should mention from the creator of Metal Gear and stuff. Oh, fucking Miyamoto, the creator of fucking Mario and Zelda.
Yeah,
the two biggest fucking games ever.
Fuck that is. You know why? Because of PR. I'm not talking about legacy. I'm talking about name recognition. They're two goddamn different things.
Miyamoto was on Jimmy Fallon.
Cliff Basinski is a household fucking name because he does more PR stunts with a fucking chainsaw gun than anybody else. It's not because he's a fucking genius or created a legendary anything. It's because he's a fucking media whore like Kojima is.
Miyamoto has not fucking made a game in 20 years, and he's on the fucking Tonight Show.
You know?
A fucking Japanese dude who fucking made Mario and Zelda games that came out over 30 years ago is fucking on the Tonight Show in 2018.
I get that.
In America.
I get that. I know that, but I also know that people on the fucking Reddit boards know who Kojima is quicker than they know who Miyamoto is.
The Reddit boards, these motherfuckers are talking about
like
don't
bubbliest of the bubble, man. Like that's
it's just like
bubble.
Fucking Twitter, man. And I've had people in my chair. I've had people in my chair.
Leave the chair. Go out into a park. Go to
here's the funny thing.
A non-connected of anything.
Yeah. By the way, I'm saying this very seriously right now, right? When you see news reports, they're always quoting Twitter stuff. I've never ever heard them quote Reddit. Reddit is super fucking deep, bro. That's like bubbliest of bubble.
It's the fucking cut.
Yeah, that's like the hidden.
It's fucking the IRC, shit, the current version of IRC now.
Not to diminish Reddit. Obviously, it's a big platform, but that's really underground shit compared to Twitter. Is like that's Joe Blow shit. You know,
that's
like Reddit is for real motherfuckers that know shit.
Facebook and Twitter are Joe Blow.
Yeah, they're Joe Blow. Like Reddit is for like the real dudes. You know,
you hear somebody else talking about this, and you can easily follow a Twitter feed back and figure out who the fuck Kojima is. It's not that hard.
No, I agree. By the way, I agree with you.
It's not that hard, but half the time
no one's going to do that. Manny, it's not half the time. It's most of the time. No, Brett, I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's like standing in the middle of a party where everybody's talking about somebody, not knowing who they are, and saying you have information about them. Literally, everybody around you is talking about them. How do you not know?
Not everybody. In our bubble, sure, of course, in our little bubble, but
Death Stranding is for PS4 owners is one. Biggest releases of the fucking year.
Shit. I guarantee you,
man. Brett, the biggest fucking game, the biggest PlayStation 4 exclusive game we mentioned is Spider-Man. Overall sales 13 million, over 100 million install base. So a little more than 10% of the install base bought fucking the biggest game. Yeah. Fucking Death Stranding is not going to do 13 million. No. That's way less than that.
I never
talking
said
about
this was going to be Spider-Man. When did this?
No.
Yeah, I think we're going in a circle now because Brett, we're not going to agree with each other. You think that Kojima is up there like that? We're saying he's not. You know, among gamers, he sure as fuck is.
Come on, he's one of the top 5 names in gaming.
Among gamers, of course he is.
We're talking about people that don't.
Yeah. Fuck he is.
No, in game. Yes, in game. What do you mean outside of gaming?
Outside of gaming, nobody knows.
Nobody that doesn't play games
knows
walks
who
into a store and said, "Hey, I want a new game." Hey,
man.
I know that person. That's Spider-Man. I don't know what the fuck Death Stranding is, but I know Spider-Man. I'll go with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Nobody does that except for stupid ants.
No, they don't. Oh my god.
Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does that?
Oh my god, no.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
My stomach hurts.
Right,
No, I want to know who the fuck does that.
Oh, my kid.
Okay, get over your guts hurting and explain.
Oh, the fucking people that don't listen to this shit.
Yeah, Joe
The people
Blow
who do
doesn't.
zero
Joe
don't
Blow
even
doesn't, man.
IGN is Joe Blow don't give a shit about Throwdown.
Brett.
Okay, whoa.
Brett, you're think about it in high school terms. Everybody in the whole lunchroom is not going to be talking about the same things. You're sitting at the friggin' punk table, and everybody in the same room is talking about punk when you're not.
It's not the same thing at all.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me get this. So are you saying that that there's a whole section of gamers who know nothing about games, and they're the ones that are going to be tricked by this?
No. We're saying that the general public,
so the general public doesn't know what fucking trailers are. The general public doesn't do any fucking research. The general public doesn't follow anything on Twitter.
They don't.
They just walk into a store and buy something because it is
Yes. Thank you.
That is
yes, it is. We see it all the fucking time.
Where do you see it, Tony?
Life, Manny. How many times have we gone to GameStop and seen this shit?
No, hold on, Tony. Where have you watched this happen? Where the fuck have you sat down and watched the
GameStop. You see it all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
have you worked at a GameStop?
I've been to GameStop before. Manny, how many times have we been to GameStop? We've seen this shit with ourselves. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
You've walked in. You've seen people walk and be like, I don't know, it's got Spider-Man on it.
Yes.
I've heard when I worked at GameStop, people came in and would just say, "Hey, what's a good game? I'm in the mood to play something."
Thank you. Yeah, you
and
see
whatever I fucking gave them, they would buy it.
I want a game for my kids. Oh, I want. What's the popular game right now?
Exactly.
Brett,
I don't know.
Brett, there's a reason why these GameStop employees fucking have those robotic fucking advertisements in their voices when you fucking walk in the door, because it fucking works. They fucking sell you the games.
Most of the people. GameStop employee. You don't need to explain.
Then you know.
And I was a game co-employee. I worked at video games.
People walk in, don't know shit.
Yeah, and people are fucking dumb. They ask the stupidest shit. They do,
but they have a modicum of understanding of at least
they don't.
Type of a game it is that they're.
They definitely don't come in.
Buying it for somebody else. Unless they're buying it for somebody else,
or especially the parents buying stuff. They don't know shit, man.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, but that's what these are people buying the shit. Yeah. Kids aren't walking in there to buy it. They're waiting for somebody with money to actually do it. So the person walks in and say, "Hey, my kid wants a new game. There's some new games that came out. What's good? You tell me." Mm-hmm. So it's up to me to tell them, "Hey,
you think that guy knows who Kojima is?"
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Kojima just made a game. You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to somebody who actually wants to help me. Because you're telling me some shit.
The Dude Bro gamers don't know who Kojima is.
Most they don't.
The Dude Bro gamers are just there to buy Call of Duty. It doesn't fucking.
And that's a huge fucking portion of the game industry.
That's most.
Yeah, exactly. But they were never open to buying it anyway.
It doesn't matter. We're just talking about general gaming audience. It's like Dude Bro gamers and all the casuals are the overwhelming majority of people who play video games.
That is true. Yeah,
it's not us.
That's it. Go buy Doom.
Why are we even talking about Dude Bro gamers? We just discounted them as a separate insular market a minute ago.
You just mentioned them, Brett.
But to be fair though, like we could, even if we take those guys out, here's the thing: PS4 has sold 100 million, right? 100 million of those guys are not hardcore gamers like us. Like it's only 13% of them, like the guys who bought Spider-Man. You know, most people just bought a PS4. Oh, it has Madden, it has Call of Duty.
You think it plays movies. Bought Spider-Man are hardcore gamers?
Well, yeah, they probably
Tony's I think Tony's being generous with that.
Oh,
it's
really?
Like, like I don't think the 13% of the people who pay for bot Spider-Man
Yeah, you're right about that. I am being generous about that. It's probably even less than 10% of people who are like real, like dedicated gamers that like have a bunch of trophies and all this other stuff.
Who know who the fuck Hideo Kojima is?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So this is the same group of people that they would say be putting out all trailers for, assuming, right?
What trailers?
Because your average Joe Blow gamer isn't going to watch a gaming, right?
Well, yeah, so if it's going on through the Super Bowl, they're gonna watch it.
Yeah, they'll watch it. Yeah,
yeah, it's all about product placement. It depends on what they're watching and if the ad is showing.
And I guarantee you, if they show that shit during the Super Bowl, they'll hear the name Kojima and they'll forget it 2 seconds later. It's some Japanese name, you know. You know how Americans are. Anyway, I want to move on because we still got more Death Stranding questions, man.
Who? What's it? What?
You guys are crazy tonight, man. I love it.
Because it's a hot button topic, son.
All right, this one's a little bit different though. Different direction, but still about Death Stranding. What themes do you see in Death Stranding from the trailers? For example, when I saw the trailers and gameplay, I see Kojima making a message about oil being too important to us and eventually it becoming the end of America. The stranding and the everyday enemy in the game is climate change. Interesting. So America is stranding and the game is about climate change. Okay, so that's the takeaway he gets. I don't know what the fuck to take away from it.
We haven't played it.
I haven't played it, so I can't say. But he did say based off the trailers. What do you think it is? But here's the thing: I don't think about that type of show when I watch trailers anyway. I'm not thinking about the theme. So I'm just like, all right, whatever.
So before this,
I've kind of done trying to analyze anything.
I don't analyze shit, man. I just whatever's in my face, I'll just like take it as face value. You know.
It's hard
before these reviews. I just thought it was like a delivery game, like some kind of weird delivery game with a story that you're gonna encounter people with weird situations, stories, and you're gonna deliver goods to help them out. And I thought it was gonna be a budget title. I really did think it was gonna be like a $30-$40 game, and it was gonna go straight to PSN. I didn't think it was gonna be a full-on launch release.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was gonna be, because also with the timing. Where he at first announced, said, yeah, I'm going to create a studio. Then like a few months later, yeah, I got game footage. What? And then next it's coming out next year. This is a short window. Yeah. So I really didn't think he had a full-blown game developed for something like this.
Yeah, by the way, I want to give Glorious War a huge shout. He's been throwing bits at us all night, man. Appreciate that, Ben.
Thanks for bits, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody want to talk about the themes again?
I mean, here's the thing. In general, at least from what he said and from what I don't know what the trailers are saying because they're kind of semi-mysterious. But in general, it's about connection. How it's essentially from what it seems like it's a commentary on how essentially we're all connected but yet just separated. So it's literally a world that's like that. Even I'm sure once you start connecting everybody in the world, you're going to see all kinds of other problems in the game and that arise from being connected.
I'm just taking it for what he said at that special we saw. He, post-apocalyptic game where you got to bring America back together. There you go. That's the game.
And and I think that's the general storyline, but I think it's a bigger metaphor about how the world is is connected yet disconnected.
Yeah,
like there's no human contact between people. If you look at it in the game, everybody's all kind of hidden in their inside their little huts. Scattered throughout the whole United States, right? So what you're doing is you're connecting those people together, but at the same time, those people don't want to come out and interact.
Yeah, that's a.
Wasn't there something going on with
right there, man?
But wasn't there something with the air or the rain? Because I read somewhere where they were like, oh well, and in the ads they show things destroyed. It's so that when it rains, it destroys everything that's outside.
The rain essentially is something that it decays everything that's out there. So anybody who walks outside who doesn't have any sort of protection, can get instantly aged and die, or something, or even like just having vehicles or other things around, they will instantly rust and fall apart.
See, that could be good motivation to stay inside. So,
yeah, Brett, I want to hear your. Because I know you're going to go off
delivering packages and stuff like that. So
that's a dangerous job. He should be getting paid for that. Then,
what do you think?
He gets paid. He gets paid in likes.
The funny thing is that there's also another. He said that there was also some sort of other social media connection in the game. I don't know what it is, but he said,
I'm not joking. You get paid in likes. Like the whole point of the game it's thematic. It's I have trouble explaining this to people, and it just gets frustrating because literally my job is to explain art to average Joes all day, every day. And one of the things I have to explain a lot of times is things are thematic, right? When you're trying to distill a tattoo, an idea into a tattoo, it doesn't need to read one for one. You can distill an idea into something. The problem with that is thematics are kind of a very top-down view. You're supposed to take the general idea of it and feel it. You're thinking it through with the right brain, not with the left brain. And when you start really searching for all of these little tiny patterns, oh, this thing means this, and this thing means this, and this thing means this, it's very easy to lay these things over on top of a game that's based on themes. A lot of great stories, a lot of old animes, a lot of our favorite movies are very thematic. Good example, best example I can give, the Alien, from the Alien movies. It isn't scary because it's black or it's glossy or it's, got weird skeletal ribs or anything like that, or the fact that it reminds people of a bug. It's that it's Geiger's work, and Geiger's work was meant to be weirdly sexual yet weirdly horrifying, and it's because you look at it and be like, oh, this thing looks like a penis and this looks like this. He just merged and blended shapes to make suggestive ideas that your right brain can process in a very thematic sense. So this game, it's not that complicated. It's about human connection.
Yeah.
As Manny said, it's about making a connection from one person to another, helping to build a community, and receiving admiration for yourself as a reward for doing so. So the more you help to build a community, and the more that you help to connect other people in a dark and scary world where you're surrounded by entities, but they're all vague and possibly hostile. It's not a very far allegory from living in a crowded society full of people potentially hostile, and although there's people and things everywhere, it's very difficult to make a true human connection, and that you can feel incredibly lonely, and that can lead to this, sad, desolate idea and viewpoint. But in helping others to make basic human connections, you enrich your own soul, and that's where you find admiration for yourself and being a better person. You find value in things that you do, work ethic, and you build yourself as a person and enrich the hearts of those around you and thus yourself.
That's the same story of Gears 5. So they fucking stole the shit. Okay, because in Gears 5, that's what you're doing with the main character.
I don't know if you can steal themes, but and see, the thing is, that's why I guess I get so pissed off when everyone's like, oh, it's a highly cerebral game. Fuck off. No, it's not. It's not that hard to understand. You can read way more into it if you want, but most likely it's not there.
What game are we talking about?
Death Stranding.
Wait, Brett, have you played it?
No, but I've seen enough of the trailers, and
Yeah, the question is literally about the trailer, so he's on track.
Yeah, so I can pick up on the theme, the basic. You don't have to and I don't know what the twist is, but the basic theme is clearly human connection, as Manny said. It is. Yeah, it's not that hard, and the fact that you get likes and admiration, and the more likes you get, the more well received you are. You're gaining admiration for connecting other people, which is essentially how community is built. He's kind of making a statement on the human condition. Yeah, that much is apparent.
Yeah, and I think just the fact that it takes place in a desolate wasteland also says something too, because that's kind of what you're doing. You're living in this desolate wasteland. You're trying to find connections somehow. Yeah, exactly.
But there's all these things around you. It's not empty, but it's tough to find connections. Yeah, and so but that's not all real deep stuff. No. I'm sure Manny has done the exact same thing, or more nuanced, when dealing with art. If you're setting up a landscape or a background, you're thinking about all of these little things and how they fit into the theme and how they're going to make you feel and how it's going to draw your eye around the page. There's just as much foresight in that. So I'm not saying it's not a cool idea, and I'm not saying it's not an interesting take, but to say that it's highly cerebral just because it takes this somewhat common theme and puts its own twist on it, I don't think is fair to say. And so I'm not saying that it's a dumb game. But I'm saying that it's way too early to say that it's a cerebral game for the intellectually curious.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the same people that are saying like Joker is this grand masterpiece when they've probably never seen a movie outside of a superhero movie before. And so this one did something a little bit different. Like, oh my God, it's a fucking masterpiece.
I feel like the Death Stranding, at least from some people, is getting a little bit of that. It's from people that never really watched or interacted with something that is actually really complicated.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you're gonna play. It's like I saw this shit in Metal Gear Solid 2, man.
Yeah, like I feel like in his games are in general, yes, they are somewhat cerebral, but they're not really that. And to be honest, there are a lot of most of the ideas and most of it and actually a lot of his games are fairly simple.
Yeah,
it's just I think of it like a simple object like a cup, but being filled up with something with another liquid. You know what I mean? Like
liquid.
It's still a cup, whatever you put in, but what you put inside it doesn't change that.
It must be like water.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think the themes are going to be there, and I think there's a little bit things like about all kinds of other things that I think he wants to address. But I think in general, it's just going to be a fairly simple sort of idea. I think in the beginning, it's just going to seem a little bit weird and complicated and odd.
Yeah. All right, I just want to move on to the next question because we still got a lot of them actually.
By the way, I appreciate that Joker dig there.
Yeah, I had to do that, man.
What's the Joker?
Yeah, don't worry, Carlos. I don't count you as one of those people because you've seen those other type of movies before.
Yeah, well, come on, like
I'm not counting you in that one. Carlos, we know what I'm talking about. These guys have never seen the movies that inspired us, like Taxi Driver or whatever. They see, they're like, oh my fucking God, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this before.
We're talking about a bunch of people who don't even bother to go back into film history to look for these sorts of movies that have already been done. But they see the new shit that's out there, which is essentially a toe dip into these ideas, right?
It definitely wears its influences in its sleeve.
Yeah. I'm not going to derail it, but somebody remind me to tell you about something Galactus related at the end of the show.
Before we move on,
yeah.
Before people discount this idea, I just want to point out there have been several known instances of people not only misinterpreting authors' works, but arguing with the author themselves, either knowingly or unknowingly, about what part of their book meant. It happens
all the time.
Actually, fairly regularly.
All the time, yeah.
So before anybody comes
movies.
So before anybody comes and says like, "Oh, I'm off base," suggesting that people might look more into this game and project shadows of, artsiness onto this game that aren't there, know that it happens all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
and is documented.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, like I think the one thing is just like, I'm also thinking that in general he's also going to probably also let people. Well, no, he's never been known to do this. We'll let people kind of figure out their own conclusions out of it. He usually kind of tells everything all off the bat. So,
Yeah. All right, next question. Oh, by the way, that was Tennessee Sooner. My bad, brother. I didn't give you a proper shout out. So that was his question. His next question is, I'm seeing people criticizing Death Stranding as a walking simulator and boring without having playing it. What other games are considered quote unquote walking simulators to you guys? If he just says if this has been asked before, don't bother. I don't think we've been asked if what game. No, so we can answer this.
Gone Home
is like I actually love walking simulators.
Yeah. Gone Home, Firewatch.
The Telltale games.
They're not walking simulators.
No, I know, but we put them in that category.
No. They're point and click adventure games.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same.
It's not the same.
Nothing really going on.
So yeah, Gone Home is the one that kind of started it all, or at least popular.
Well, Myst started it all.
But you do puzzles in that. They didn't start it, but it created the modern version of it.
Yeah, actually, you know where the term
Dear Esther. That's
a walking simulator. Yes.
No, that is the walking simulator.
Then how come Gone Home is the one that gets the praise as the one that started it all?
Because it's the most popular one.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Well, it's the most popular one.
Go ahead, what happened, Brett?
I think it started as a derogatory term.
DayZ. It did? Oh, really? No, Manny, you're right about that. But the one that popularized it is Gone Home, and I do not like that game. Firewatch is another one. Dear Esther is another one.
Dear Esther, in fact, Dear Esther is more walking simulator than Gone Home because there's at least some sort of item stuff happening in Gone Home.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Dear Esther, you just walk to a place and then it tells you a story, and that's it.
I'm getting these from Wikipedia right now. So yeah, Gone Home, Dear Esther, Firewatch, Stanley Parable, What Remains of Edith Finch, and I'm gonna name a couple of these. I've never heard of these. Proteus, Jazz Punk, 30 Flights of Loving. So there you go. Those are
walking simulators. But it's funny that all those walking simulators. I don't know the other ones, but most of them are all first person.
They are.
This would be the first third person walking simulator.
Right,
if it was one.
But there's combat, so it can't be considered.
I was gonna thank you, Adam. I was gonna say that it's not a walking simulator because there's combat and there's bosses and shit.
There's boss battles.
There are boss battles?
Yeah,
they show them in the commercials and the ads. You see him fighting guys.
He's fighting this giant fucking blob monster. He's shooting at it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but for most of the game, there's not combat.
No, there's not. But the thing is, since there is combat,
if you grab a weapon, you automatically void out of walking.
I don't think that's a fair comparison because by that logic, you would call Shadow of the Colossus a walking simulator.
And Pokemon.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. If you do something other than walking, it's not a walking simulator anymore.
I kind of agreed with the DayZ dig. Like, as much as I didn't like the idea of people simulator, 90% of the time, that's what it was. You're just moving around.
You're agreeing with them.
Well, yeah, but it was the fact that it was 90% of the time. You didn't know that other 10% was going to happen that made the other 90% fucking tense. So, I'm just walking across a field, but every time I get to the edge of a tree line, I drop down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because there have been too many times where I've just just fucking skipped into a fucking field to be sniped by some guy I didn't even see from, 2.5 miles off. Like, I've learned my lesson. And so it creates tension. But yeah, that 90% is walking. And fuck, even a lot of survival games, like Conan, they're building, but a lot of it is just walking around trying to find water.
But I think the moniker of walking simulator really is reserved for games that are more that.
Yeah, I'm gathering
just walking.
I'm gathering that it's gone that way, which makes me feel.
Yeah, but Brett, that's what they've become. That's what they become. It's actually a distinct genre. Because it was the derogatory for a game that has had a lot of walking. Now there's literally a genre where all you do is walking, and people like those.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it's.
Cool.
But I mean, if you
used to call those Myst type games.
Yeah, but here's the thing: by modern standards, Myst is not a walking simulator because there's puzzles in it. These are games where all you do is walking, nothing else.
Yeah, because you would also, if you were, the one that what's his name? The guy who created something Blow. What was that guy?
Fez.
Not Fez, the other one.
Oh, Jonathan Blow. You're talking about. Oh my God.
Yeah. The second game that he made.
That game fucking sucked too. By
that game, that game is actually a puzzle game and not a.
It's a puzzle. That is a puzzle game.
Even there is a lot of walking in it.
Yeah, because he made I'm forgetting the name of the black and white game. Was it? No, it wasn't black and white.
No, it was so colorful. It was
colorful. It was a time bendy game.
Braid.
He made Braid, and then he made the puzzle game, which fucking sucked.
Terrible. Braid is a puzzle game, but
yeah, no, but he made another. It's purely. At least that one had different kind of puzzles. This was literally just connect the fucking line puzzles.
Yeah, it was like
stupid fucking game. All right, moving on.
Was it The Witness?
There we go.
Is that the one?
There you go.
Oh, The fucking Witness, man! Fuck that game. Yo, that game. It's like one of
sucked.
It's so.
It's like the same puzzle. The whole game is the same fucking puzzle.
It's those fucking square shits.
Yep. Oh, fuck that.
I'm like,
and Brett, that was another one. Oh, you're not intellectual enough for this game. I heard that shit too when I crapped on it. Oh, you just don't get it, Tony.
It got so many.
It was man.
It was critically acclaimed.
It was. Yeah, they loved it.
That's man. I always forget about that game. You know how we get those questions where it's like, name one game that everyone loves but you hate.
Yeah, that's one.
The Witness is definitely one.
The Witness, man.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I think we named all the walking simulators. Moving on. Now we're not on Death Stranding questions anymore.
What?
Yeah. Glorious War, you slick motherfucker, man. He asked 2 questions, but one of them is a 2-part question. Luckily, the first part of your question we already answered. He wants to know if we consider games art. I think we all collectively said yes, games are art.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I actually say it can't be art. Actually,
how's that?
Because they function.
Art can't function then?
No, it's functional art.
The thing is within art true art is something that is decided by the artist and the person viewing it. For it to be a game can be artistic, but I cannot consider it art.
All right, interesting.
I fundamentally
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
I know you agree. I know you disagree with it, but the thing
I like the DeLorean. It's art, and you can drive it.
Yeah, like,
but again, we got more questions. We could dig into that one later. By the way, ask us that question again in the future, and we'll get more deeper into it.
Yeah, that's a deep question.
Yeah, that's a deep question. That's a good one. Ask us again in the future, and we'll answer it because we didn't have that. Maybe we weren't on that episode because we all of us said, "Yep, it's art."
I've always said it.
Yeah, no, I know you have. Maybe you weren't on the episode because we all said, "Yep, it's art." Next question.
Yeah, I don't remember like having a discussion about this.
That's agreement. Yeah, we all just agreed on it. Interesting. All right, Mr. Gary Swaby, man, asking us a question. Mr. Swaby, shout out to Gary, man. I talk to that guy all the time, man. We're doing a lot of cool things in the background. You guys, we'll see soon. At least for me, Gary's already doing his thing. Okay, so his question is, which video games have inspired you the most in other aspects of your life? Very deep question there, man.
Shenmue.
How has that inspired you in other aspects of your life?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it hasn't inspired me to do anything, but it made me look at the mundane a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, you're in a virtual world of a bunch of people going about their day, and then it almost somewhat parallels your own life.
I'm going to give the cheap answer. Tetris taught me how to put shit together. You know, when I'm like, you know, if I got to pack, I'm like, I know where to put shit. You know, just because of Tetris, I know how to line things up perfectly. You know, so that's my cheap answer. Tetris.
I'll say Persona 5 because I played that game right before I went to Japan, and it's like just when I was in Japan, for some reason I just kept thinking about Persona 5, and it's like, you know, it kind of enhanced my experience, which is pretty cool. By the way, I never saw it coming.
Yeah, I guess my other answer, you know, related to that, even though it's not exactly answering the question, is like GTA helped me with Los Angeles. When I go to that, I'm like, oh shit, I know all this already, man. Like I know that.
It wasn't LA Noire.
Yeah, it wasn't LA Noire, man.
You know what's funny though? I said Persona 5, but I didn't say, you know, GTA.
Yakuza, man.
I didn't say, well, yeah, Yakuza 2. But I didn't say GTA when it came to New York for some reason. You know, oh no, you know why? Because I've seen so many fucking movies about New York that I think I got more inspiration. You know, like the Joker. Oh, I got inspiration like from New York about just watching fucking Marty Scorsese films, but not like GTA or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the line here, Chris. You got an answer for this one?
Games that inspired me?
Yeah, games that inspired you in other aspects of your life.
Well, I'd say in college I was trying to make a lot of Doom levels, and that got me into looking into programming, and then I switched my major to computer science, so that really influenced me. I was like, man, maybe I want to make video games, man. You know? I dropped out of pre-med.
Nice. All right, Adam, what about you? Have games inspired you anything, you know, in other aspects of your life?
Most recently, it's got to be Division 1, and I got to say it just motivated me with all the running that you do in that fucking game. I was like, shit, I need to get on my treadmill. And that's it. I started spending more time on the treadmill because, you know, in Division 1, you're running up and down those streets. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, he's running all the time. I was like, shit, I need to start running more. And I have a treadmill, so I said, fuck it, let me get back on it. So, yeah, it motivated me to do that.
Nice. And Brett.
I think I've answered this. Dark Souls.
Oh, you're cutting out a little bit. Yeah, Dark Souls. Right?
Yeah, I've answered. I think I've answered this question before.
Yeah,
Dark Souls. I'm a big believer that its thematic idea is overcoming adversity and not giving in to what seems to be insurmountable odds. And I've actually thought about a lot of times, it's kind of an allegory of you're facing a problem that seems giant and impossible. If you just keep cracking at it and learn from your mistakes and don't give up, eventually you'll persevere. And I found that to be true in lots of aspects of life.
Nice. All right, moving on. Thank you, Gary, by the way. Johnny W. Uppercut. Is it just me, or has the quality of third-party games this generation... Oh, fuck, I didn't edit this. Is the quality of games this generation been worse than any other generation before?
Any
third-party games, specifically.
Other than Bethesda games?
He's just saying overall, yeah.
You know what?
Bad last generation.
I would probably say yes, even more so because a lot of these third parties and first parties do this too, but I think it's more third party because they don't really seem to give a shit. They rely so heavily on these day one patches and these other patches to follow the launch. So what you get on disc is fucking broken right off the bat. And we see that with all these titles that come out. It's like, oh, don't worry, you got a big patch coming to fix that. Well, why does it even need that fucking patch? Why wasn't working out of the box? And we see a lot of that happen. So at least this generation, I don't remember it so much in the last generation because we didn't go in full digital like we are now. But it seems like almost every game that comes out now has a massive patch. So I
just find it ironic that you're saying that that third party quality is worse because of first day patches, but your game of the generation is The Division, which needed like 100-day patch to fucking make it good.
No, but it wasn't broken out of the box. We finished it. It was fine. It was playable. Yeah. We finished. It was just nothing else to do when you were done. We had no issues when we played it. We played it day one. Remember, Tony? We flew by. We didn't. This shit wasn't crashing us. Anything. We finished it. There was just nothing else to do afterwards.
Yeah. Speaking of walking simulators, The Division 1 skills, man.
It was running. It's running, man. Running. I got Nikes on.
It's a running simulator.
Gunplay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. This generation in general has easily been the worst generation I've ever experienced. Not I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say it's horrible, but compared to the other ones, even last generation,
I'd say it's the most disappointing.
It's definitely the most. Chris has a perfect word because I don't hate it. It's just very disappointing, especially this year. This year's been like, ugh. You know,
other than like fucking Resident Evil.
Resident Evil's my game of the year by default. You know, because nothing else as good has come out. You know, or at least nothing that's really grabbed me. Even the Outer Worlds, I set it down. I'm like, I think I'm done. I'm good. You know,
it just doesn't capture that Bethesda magic. Still good. You know what's really interesting is I would say that for every console except for the Switch, I would say this has been one of the best Switch generations in
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no one's arguing that. This has been the best Nintendo generation in a long time since the Super Nintendo. I'm going to say it.
I'm not saying no, Brett, but could you bring up examples for third-party games?
Third party. We're talking about.
Oh no, I guess we're talking third party. Well, yeah, I mean,
third party.
And the majority of those third party are Wii U games.
Yeah.
So I guess we had a ton of shovelware.
Yeah, I guess if we're talking third party, I can't really back that up. I mean,
they have Astral Chain is the one that comes into mind. What else? I mean, they have a lot of first-party shit. That's what Nintendo, strives at.
Yeah. No, they've really they've been killing it mostly with first-party. So I guess it's pretty non-applicable to this situation. But I don't know. Even with first-party games included, like I felt this generation has been a little lackluster. Like we've gotten some great games, but not as many as I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's I think like last gen is like one of like the last generation where there's a lot of middle of the pack, like not super high end AAA games, but not indie games, where they released like stuff that was kind of creative. Now it's just like
it's the more these things get, more how expensive they get. Obviously, you're not going to see a lot of that stuff.
I have a question that's linked to this. Then might as well throw this in with this.
What is it?
It's related to all this. It's a question. Yeah, it's a question. There you go. So here's my question: Because you guys just point out, it's like we haven't seen anything amazing come out this year. So what's the motivation for getting a new console? Because it sounds like with EA talking about, we have all these new remakes that we plan on bringing, to the next gen. So it's like, all right, well, you're giving us more of the old, and it looks like that's all we're going to get. So, I mean, do you see any driving force motivating people to get the next gen console when it comes out? Because right now,
Adam, I have a really I thought about the answer as you were asking it. It depresses me. My answer. My answer is the hope that things are going to get better.
That's what I'm saying.
And how sad is that, bro?
Yeah, I'm with Tony on this one.
Like just the hope that things are going to get better.
Like, it makes you wonder if this was the real motivation for PlayStation to go full backwards compatible, because they were like, shit, we don't really have anything blowing anyone out of the water for this. So why not just have them play all their old shit on here and just treat it like one of those, like a cell phone, like a new iteration. It's like, hey, there's a new version. All your shit can port over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Just to get them on the hardware, and hopefully something good comes out later down the road. And, you know.
Anybody else this generation? Manny, you've already said numerous times you haven't played enough to really make that assessment.
No, I haven't played it. I mean, to be honest, like as far as this generation has gone, like I've always been I've been doing pretty good. I've been, you know, all the games I've been playing, I've played for longer periods of time, and I just don't buy as many games as everybody else does. So for me, it's just like, all right, one game leads to another. It's like, for me, it's like it took me a while to beat God of War. It took me a while to beat Nier. It took me a while to play, you know, I think Gravity Rush was like the two shortest ones that I did. But all of it just sort of leads into the next one because of just how busy my life is currently. So I'm not seeing anything that doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't seem faulty to me. It's like, okay, hey, I get to play this game. All right, I'll play this one. You know, even right now, like right now, I'm just still playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. And then my plan was to go on to Control, but being I took so long on Bloodstained, I'm probably just going to go straight over into Death Stranding. And then maybe come back to Control, and then maybe play Shenmue. So I got all these like longer experience sort of games that I'm just like, all right, that's good.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
But I mean, to be honest, it's like, you know, you're a special case because you get pretty much you get a review copies and you're playing them before everybody else. But you're not even, you even said it yourself. You're not even you have essentially morphed into Torrance Davis, where you essentially just don't once you've played the game to do the job, you don't invest any more in it because
I do want to. I'm glad you bring it up because like this year I checked, I've beaten 12 games. I've played probably 40, right? But so you know that means I can't finish these games. And I know I shouldn't say this as a games reviewer. If I have free time, I'm not playing a fucking game. You know, I'm doing something else.
So you're not even playing for the reasons that most other people are going to be playing for.
Yeah.
Oh, who it is the comic book guy.
But at the same time, if I really do like the game, because I have finished games this year, you know what I'm saying? Like if the game was really, really good, it really captivated me, I'm going to finish it. Very few games have done that for me, especially this year. You know, but then again, I'm also not going to invest $1 million because all these games are so long. You know, the ones I did beat are usually kind of shorter, like Control's like 12 hours. Resident Evil was about 15. Kingdom Hearts I did beat. That was fucking 1 million fucking hours. Dead. What's the name of that fucking?
Death Stranding.
No, Days Gone. Yeah, Days Gone. I beat that.
Oh, Days Gone. Outer Worlds.
I didn't beat that. I'm done with it. To be honest, I put about 20 hours.
Call of Duty.
I did beat Call of Duty. That's right. Yeah, I beat Call of Duty.
How long was that campaign?
5 hours.
Yeah, it's like 5.
The Division 2.
I did beat the
Division 2.
Right.
Yeah, we beat it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Breakpoint, we beat that.
No, I didn't beat.
Just we fucking beat it. We beat it.
No, it beat us, bro. It beat us.
You don't have that trophy to say you beat the game.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't lie, man. But anyway, Chris, finish us off, man. This generation.
If it's the most disappointing in third-party quality, I'd say yes and no, because I know during the 360 generation, last gen, there was just a ton of shovelware. If you want to talk about games that are broken, like probably we've hit peak, like rushing games out the door and day one patches and all sorts of shit like that. But I'd say last gen had a ton of shovelware, like just a ton of games that were just garbage.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't disagree with that point, but this generation doesn't have as much high caliber games as
that's the problem. Like last gen, the high caliber games were great. We had excellent stuff coming out on every system. Like the bar was high. Coming in now, there's so few of those, right?
Yeah.
That it gets overwhelmed. Even though I think there's less shovelware this generation, there's less quality too.
Mm-hmm.
There's just diamonds in the rough, so it looks worse.
It's like, think about it like this. I can't think of a third-party game this gen that I like as much as BioShock, Fallout 3, Mass Effect 2, Portal, like fucking Dragon's Age.
So you're saying that to put on your all-time favorite list?
Yeah, like Carlos, just to jump on what you said, like I don't think there's going to be a game that came out this generation. Red Dead 2 is the only one I could think of that's going to actually be like that's going to carry over to future generations for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only one I could think of, man. That's the only one
I think you're even talking about every type of fucking first party included too.
Everything. Yeah, like basically like last generation, I have 2 games that made my top 3 games of all time list. Think about that. Uncharted 2 and Mass Effect 2. They're in my top 2 and 3 respectively, right? Metal Gear Solid 3 is always gonna be number 1. But
The Last of Us, that got pushed.
Nah, see me. I'm just talking about me personally. I wouldn't put The Last of Us in there.
No, I wouldn't put it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on my top 10.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in my top 10 for sure.
It definitely wouldn't be on Brian's top 10.
Yeah.
I got something that could be on them.
Red Dead 2 probably wouldn't be on my top 10 either. But like overall, it would be probably top 20. But top 10 is very special to me. You know what I'm saying? So it was very hard for even Uncharted 2 and Mass Effect 2 to crack that because it was solid for like a while.
Yeah. And I mean, last year had like Gears. I mean, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a game that they're still trying to fucking replicate.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just glad Brian isn't here.
They did it,
he'd be saying, right? Oh, what about The Witcher? Tony. But sorry, nobody here right now gives a fuck about The Witcher. Oh,
no bueno.
Oh man, I feel like when parents are away, we could be naughty. Brian's away. Let's fucking talk shit about The Witcher.
Yeah, I could care less.
Hey, sorry, you still got some cutting.
I have some games. That The Division for me that would definitely go on my all-time favorite.
You know what? To be fair, Carlos, Chris, Brett, Monster Hunter, son. We had
I thought you were going to say The Division. I was about to slap you.
No.
We had
I can't argue.
Yeah, we had fun with Monster Hunters, man.
Monster Hunter is definitely a fucking amazing game. I love that game, but it's just I can't think about I can't see it. Maybe if I think about it hard enough, but I right now I can't see it like in
Capcom. This generation has impressed me.
Capcom,
Capcom 7 and 2 were excellent. Monster Hunter is excellent. Yeah,
Capcom this gen I think is better than last gen.
Oh, Big Mike, if you watch the show on Thursday, you will know that nobody here gives a fuck about the Witcher TV series.
No, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it because I got Netflix.
Yeah, I don't care. Don't give a fuck.
I mean, I'm not
You're not hyped for it. You're not hyped.
No, I'm not hyped for it. I'm like, here's the thing. It's like if it's on there, I'm like, all right, no harm, no foul. Just me turning it on while I work.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about your job. You kind of have that advantage. Like, I just have some shit in the background,
Especially if it's a fucking talkie show, like friggin' like most anime, all that shit's just talking.
Yeah.
And when it's gonna, when things are gonna get real because they're gonna, there's more yelling, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's when you stop. You look at it.
Yeah, that's the only portion. Like most of the time, it's just a bunch of talking heads for like most of the episode, and then like the last maybe 7 minutes of the episode, everything gets all animated and start blowing things up. So there you go.
There's gonna be 7 seasons of that show.
Excuse me?
There's gonna be 7 seasons of The Witcher. Really?
Yeah. All right. If Netflix is still around, I heard they're.
No, they won't be around. I give them another year before they sell.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
They're positioning themselves to sell anyway. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Where the fuck are we? Why do people still believe the excuses from developers when they delay game for extra quote-unquote polish, especially since the game is being developed only on one platform for several years? I wonder what he's referring to there.
What is it? Well, yeah.
Is he talking
it doesn't matter what we believe. We just should be happy that they're willing to stop and releasing it and just fix whatever the fuck is broken.
Yeah, what's wrong with delaying games, man?
Exactly. Nothing's wrong with that shit.
Nothing.
No, I think the questionnaire, the person asking the question is alluding to the maybe something else. Like it's like, oh, they're just saying BS when they're saying that they're doing it for polish, and they're really trying to do something else. That's how I understand.
What, to try to get into a different out of a certain window, release window? I mean, that's a busy window that they're going to anyway, regardless. So not helping them in anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I never question like, oh, are they lying? I don't care. If they're being delayed, delay it. You know, whatever.
Delay.
As a matter of fact, please delay everything until next generation. We'll have something to play. You know,
just fix your shit. That's all.
You know,
let's just fucking put a nail in the coffin of this generation.
Yeah, right. Fuck this generation. All right, Ronan in the house, man. Oh.
He's got the fire.
Not too much fire, but it could set off some bets. We'll see what happens.
Set off some bets.
What are your predictions on hardware sales by companies this holiday season? Now that A, Nintendo has both the Switch and Switch Lite in the market, and B, PS5 is being reported to have a 2020 launch. So I guess he wants us to predict how much each console is going to sell this holiday season.
Have we seen any numbers for the Switch Lite? Is that selling?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to distinguish between the Switch. I think it's just going to be one.
Yeah.
They just listing it as just Switch sales.
Well, you know what? I'll look at the financials.
Yeah.
And see if they put it in there because they usually categorize.
All right, Chris. Since you're talking, what do you think about hardware sales?
I would make that assessment closer to the end of the month.
All right.
Because I want to see what kind of deals they run for the holidays and what kind of bundles they put together.
Okay, so you know what, Roman, I'm going to put a pin on this, and we'll come back to it later. But I think we could all agree Switch is going to be the best-selling console this holiday.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some bundles going toward Christmas. They're going to release some more bundles, especially with that Switch Lite.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? We'll ask this question again next week. All right. His next question: if Blizzard decided to establish a studio for the sole purpose of creating animated feature films, are there any internal/external properties you'd like to see them develop into films, serials, anthologies? Interesting. I guess that could go for anything. It doesn't have to be video game related. Well, so basically, they're asking if the people who make their CG films or cinematics, if they made anything else, what would you like to see them work on?
I mean, they have a really talented studio there. I mean, they do all the stuff for the Diablo and all that other stuff. So, what would I like to see them do? I mean, they could pretty much. They look like they have the fidelity to tackle almost anything that's out there. To be honest, so sure. You know what? Why not say Metal Gear? Let's go with that. It'll look. You can get that really nice, shiny looking, semi-realistic look that they get. And it should work for that. Just depends on who's writing the script.
Right, Chris.
They've done some great stuff with Overwatch. They should have made that into some kind of series. Because if you watch the shorts, they're actually pretty good. I'd be like, yeah, I'd watch an Overwatch show. I won't play it. I'll watch the show though.
I mean, the characters are fun looking. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like the spiritual successor to Team Fortress and all that wackiness and shit. So I would love to see that in animated. Also, like StarCraft. I don't think StarCraft gets enough love from them. I would love to see them turn some of those novels that were written for StarCraft into animated movies.
Did they announce this new StarCraft at BlizzCon? Anybody know?
I didn't hear anything.
They're actually gonna re-release Warcraft 3.
Because I told my buddies over there, and he sent me. I gotta ask him. He sent me pictures of the arena, and they had posters and banners. I could send it to you of saying StarCraft. It's just big.
Didn't
StarCraft.
you get the emails, Adam?
No, not from them. I get all the other emails. I didn't get anything from BlizzCon.
Oh man, they always.
What's up with that, man?
They should. I think Blizzard should make an animated show on the creation of the Bill of Rights. You know, the U.S. Bill of Rights.
Oh, I know where that's going.
They won't do that.
It's gonna be like those old Schoolhouse Rock things. They call it a bill. They call it Capitol Hill.
I'd let Supermassive. I would like to see Supermassive Games make a series for Netflix. Those are the guys that did Until Dawn and Man of Medan, and do something with the controller and make that an interactive game, like what Netflix tried to do with what's that shit called, Black Mirror.
I just remember the Simpsons did a riff on that. Oh man, meant to be. Oh, and meant to be.
I think
those liberal freaks, they've gone too far. Oh man. Brett, go ahead. Answer or die.
Answer or die.
Yes.
Jesus, now I forget the question. No, it's what we like to see. I'm honestly racking my brain. I don't know what I want to see them work on. I just keep getting flashbacks of Warcraft, the movie, and I'm like, I mean, it didn't really work. You felt like it would work.
No, they're talking about like if you could have a pure CG movie of
the Warcraft movie.
The Warcraft movie was pure CG though. It was like live action.
This is like.
Oh, that's right. It was weird because it's a hybrid.
Yeah, it was a hybrid. Yeah, it was a live action movie.
Yeah, it's Blizzard cinematics. Think of all those.
Yeah, but remember, like when you first started playing World of Warcraft and you saw that first cinematic, and it was fucking amazing. Like that. I'd like to see an Old Republic series done. Oh man!
They can do it. I mean, they have again.
Hold on, remember that Old Republic trailer?
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
crazy.
Take that shit and make it into a series.
I thought it was gonna be a fucking show.
Yeah,
I wanted it to be.
Oh man! Apparently, this is a little off topic. Oh, no, it's definitely off topic. I heard that the fucking what's her name? The Game of Thrones guys, David and Dan Weiss.
D&D.
D&D. They're supposedly they were gonna do a fucking Old Republic fucking movies before.
Yep, but they bailed.
Yep.
No, they bailed for Netflix.
Until Netflix called.
Not to derail the show, I just find it ironic that these motherfuckers rushed the last season of Game of Thrones so they could do Star Wars. Then they got booted off Star Wars because the last season of Game of Thrones sucked.
Oh
man, it's hilarious.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how
it all works, you know.
Yeah.
As for me, just for the fun, because I don't really care. Mass Effect, why not?
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah, that would be a great show.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here. Last two questions from Mr. G Megaforce 123. This is an interesting one. Are gamers more mature or less mature than non-gamers?
It's about the same on both sides.
I think it's about the same. People are stupid on both sides. People are equally dumb.
Yeah, people don't. I mean, it's like regular people play games, and it's like they're all, just anybody can really become a gamer. It's like you don't have to be a specific type of person to be a gamer. You can really be anybody.
Cell phones have proved that.
Yeah, everybody's equally stupid.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's no really differentiating factor between both.
Big Mike liked my answer. Yeah, man, they're dumb. All right, and the last question of the night.
Yeah, Mike, you good?
You good, Mike? What's up, man? I'm here like Colin Kaepernick.
Oh man, I'm gonna post that fucking clip on the fucking Discord. That shit's funny, man.
Isn't it on there?
Oh yeah, it's on there. It's gonna be there for life, man. Okay, what's a common game design element that annoys you to no end? For me, enemies whose main gimmick is to just run from you and make you catch up to them, and he doesn't like that.
I hate chasing. Yeah, Call of Duty. I mean, not Call of GTA 4 and 5. They had a lot of that chase shit. Oh, he's running. Go get him. Shit, and then you got to get through traffic. I fucking hate that. Hate it.
You don't see a lot of these anymore. Time shit. Oh, you gotta defuse the bomb. Oh, it's coming. Yeah.
Spider-Man had some of that.
Yeah, it
did. Yeah, Spider-Man did have some of that. Yeah.
Remember when Arkham Asylum made fun of that shit? Like people were talking about, like, oh shit, because at that point people were sick of them, so they had like you thought it was a time-based puzzle, and then they like totally tripped it up on you. I'm like that's pretty clever the way they did that. But yeah, those timing things, escort missions. Let's just be real. Real. Escort missions suck.
They haven't done an escort mission in a long time.
Like the AI is always so retarded,
Yeah, the sad thing about like with like a lot of programming these days, like it's like they still can't get that right. Like
no, they can't.
They have to. Their solution is just to make the other character immortal. Like if Ellie or Joel were like actual AI characters and you'd have to save them, people would get so pissed off.
You know which escort mission game I liked a lot? Fucking BioShock Infinite. Because all she did was gave you ammo and health.
Yeah, that was fine. But I'm talking about like an actual mission where you got to escort the person and they could get killed and you'll fail.
Yeah, like
Emma
Emmerich from Metal Gear Solid 2. I mean, PlayStation 2 is like the era of escort missions.
Escort missions and those timing bomb missions, Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, Spider-Man did have some of those.
It did, yeah. Yeah, and I didn't like those. And those also had you chase enemies too,
Yeah.
Right. What other ones? I'm just gonna let you guys just free for all. What other mechanics don't you like?
Weapon fragility.
Oh,
I mean that's one of the biggest reasons why I just didn't really get into deep with Breath of the Wild.
Same here, and also encumbrance. Like, why you make no? Get rid of that. It's fucking dumb. I don't like encumbrance. Oh, I'm 100 pounds. Oh, I put on 0.5 pounds. Oh, I can't move.
No, I can't walk.
It's like,
what? This annoying.
Cover mechanics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I'm with Brett. A lot of them.
The whole
I kind of like it.
I love cover games, man.
Yeah.
No. The whole you walk into a battle room, look at all the half walls.
Oh yeah, that's corny. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the Uncharted effect is.
Yeah, Gears of War does that too. When you see those blocks, I'm like, all right, some shit's about to pop off in this room.
Yeah,
Yep. Like, every pillar in this room just so magically is toppled over. Okay.
I feel like it's that in every game where you're walking in there and all of a sudden you start getting a shitload of ammo. I'm like, oh, yeah. I wonder why you gave me all this ammo.
Yeah, it's like you do all this shit and then you go to that one corridor that has a bunch of ammo and there's a one door. I'm like, okay. And then you get to the door and start saving, like, okay, I know what's going to happen now. Yeah. I think we covered everything, right? Mechanics we don't like.
Fucking battle royale games. Fuck that shit.
That's a whole genre.
That's a fucking mechanic. It's a fucking gimmick.
Oh man, we'll find out. How long does it take? How many years before we say it was just a gimmick? Is it just 1 year?
No, I think it's here to stay, man.
It's here to stay, but I'm still gonna say it's a gimmick.
Yeah. Barry Burns says, if you don't want to be weighed down, then don't carry so many bobby pins.
Or packages on your back like fucking Death Stranding over there.
I remember the first time I became over encumbered, and it was in Fallout 3.
Yep.
It's like
I was like, what the hell?
I just fucking couldn't move. I was like, what the hell's going on? I didn't know what the hell. I honestly did not know what the hell to do. I was like, what the hell happened? And then
yeah, that was dumb. I was like, what? I got to get rid of a can? I could walk now? It's like,
yeah. It's like it's not even a gradual process of slowing down. No, it's just you're either fucking Usain Bolt or you're fucking, I don't know, the fucking snail.
Video games, man. By the way, this is kind of related. Somebody, they said this as a joke on Twitter. They were like, they were trying to hack something in the outer worlds, right? But the pants he was wearing were like taking down his hacking, so he had to take his pants off in order to hack.
Oh man.
Video games, man. Yeah, I think we're done, people. Yeah, I think we're done. Nice. Let me bring up the graphic here. Oh yeah, the graphics.
The graphics.
By the way, isn't Torrance about to have the final Warzone soon, man?
What is it going to end in 400 or something like that?
400.
Yeah,
let me go look up.
Yeah, because he's at 396 last time I checked. Anyway, so if you want to submit questions to us, first you join our Discord. And then you go, when you're on a Discord, you go to the Throwdown Your Questions section. And step 3, you submit them questions, man. Keep them to 2. Keep them to gaming, man. And that's pretty much that. So thank you for watching and listening. Leave us the questions in the Throwdown Discord server, and we'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight joined by Emilio Lopez. Can't hear you.
Thanks a lot, Emilio.
Can't hear me?
Hey, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
See you later, guys. Don't forget. Next week at some point we're gonna have those 3 episodes of Throwdown Draws posting pretty soon. Haven't exactly decided what days they're gonna show up, but they're gonna show up. And then I also have another bit of pre-recorded content that can also show up next week or probably the week after. So
Nice.
Good stuff.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
If a tree falls in the forest and no one is around it to hear it, does it say Hideo Kojima?
Brett Murdoch.
That was pretty spot on. Well done.
Yes. And Adam Vale.
Have a good week,
All
everybody.
right, people. We'll see you, man. Peace out.
Deuces.
Laters.